Good evening, one and all. It is Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's definitely Wednesday. That must mean it's time for us to jump into some more good old Warframe. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're doing well where you are around the world at the moment. It seems that the world of Warframe is getting a little bit busy once again. Once again, this bloody thing has gone right the way through the top of the window, hasn't it? Oh well, we'll leave it there. It's fine, just a little. It's a little bit of space as a treat. Welcome on, everyone. Will I say hello? I want to say thank you for your compressor prime build. It was very helpful. Hey, glad it was helpful. That's exactly what it's there for. I'm glad that worked out there for you. Star Wars Wall of Text returns. It's not quite Star Wars length yet, but it's certainly getting there, isn't it? Certainly getting there. Oh, you're heading off to Colorado, Tom. Hopefully for something fun. Hopefully. Today we are going to be returning to looking at Oraxia. I had a first look on Sunday, but today I wish to take that even further. Absolutely. Oh, you go for your sister's wedding? Fair do. Hope you have a good time. Absolutely. Now, the stream, I do apologise, was a couple of minutes late today because, not moments before starting, the bloody bulb went, oh, you know what? I'm not really feeling it today. And so it just dimmed down by like 75%. Just 75%. I was like, okay. You could just light up the room or not, I guess. Be a dull piece of crap, but that's why I have a spare on hand straight away. So yeah. Quite annoying? Yeah. But hey, this is why you always just have a spare light bulb for any particular fitting ready to go, because you never know when they'll go. You just never know. Modern light bulbs for you? I mean, the old ones are worse. Akabo! Thank you very much for resubscribing with your Prime. They're up onto 11 months. Excuse me. 11 months. Much appreciated. Someone says, one ad's supposed to be midstream. So, at the first few minutes of stream, they are pre-rolls, because there hasn't been a mid-roll yet. Once the mid-roll has played, then the pre-rolls turn off. So if you arrive in the first like 4 minutes of stream, there is a chance that you get a pre-roll ad because Twitch says fuck you to settings, basically. It knows that there's going to be mid-rolls and decides not to. Did I misspell customization? Oh, bollocks. Customization. It's just a T that moved over. There we are. That happens. I appreciate someone finally actually got to it rather than just going with the title. But there we are. Now I know what was up with it. This is nothing new. I misspell things. It happens. Not because I don't know how to spell them, but just because I type it out and it looks correct. TNB Dean, thank you very much for your Prime. That up until 1.5 years. TNB, thank you very much for continued support. Much appreciated there. Cheers. Ghost spreads? Nah, it's on this one's personal. This one's personal. Whatever you've got. I don't know, that's for certain. What the f*** is a treasure train? A what? Treasure train unlock a limited time 35% off gift subs at level 5. Okay. Huh. Alright then. Twitch is also feeling the extra giveaways on hype trains, I guess. So yeah. Oh, that one's discount rather than giveaway, but all the same. Okay, that's new. So yeah, if we hit a level 5 hype train right here, right now, then gift subs get even cheaper. You get more bang for your buck. Or less buck for your bang? I don't know. One of those two. Yo, Catham! Thank you very much for subscribing with your Prime here. Drop on that over first all time. Get yourself that lovely blue badge next to your name. And no more ads for you. All the other bits and pieces that come with that. Cheers indeed on that. Just a reminder to y'all as well, we do have the hype bonus giveaways running. I said they were going to run until the end of June and continue them potentially. And you know what? I think it went well, so we're continuing it. Simple as that. I haven't made the announcement as yet because I was too busy working on Oraxia, but suffice to say, I'm going to be continuing that throughout July as well. So every level of hype train we do complete is another giveaway out to the community. It can be any number of things: Excellence adapters, Omniformer, Former bundle, weapon slots, 7-day booster, even as far as a Signet or a Legendary core. All of those are up for grabs potentially, but only if we roll the hype trains. Each completed level gets one of those. Alright then, also, you might notice my Oraxia finally has moved away from the default colours. I realised I had not actually done any customization on Oraxia, and if I did a video with her like that all the way through, I would be vilified in the comments by people expecting actual fashion frame, so I have fixed that. It's not much of a fix, I will be honest, but I have fixed that. I've gone for a black, white and gold approach, pretty standard fare, with a blue, not blue, solid blue, went for purple, with a purple highlighting on it. We've got the arm attachments going on here as well, left and right, because of course it meets with Oraxia. I'll be honest, the rest of her attachments look a little bit out of place, but these ones work nice enough. And then a glittery effect, which, I don't know, just takes away the horror factor just slightly. It makes her more of a spider queen rather than just a spider menace. So yeah, just added on the glitter, which came straight from the new Citrine deluxe bundle. It's the Didyma Ephemera. So the Citrine one right there. Yeah, I think that works out quite nicely. I didn't need any other attachments. I tried various bits and pieces, chest attachments, leg attachments, Syndanas, Signas, but to be honest, she's got so much already going on and so many flappy bits that it just started to look bad if I added any other bits and pieces. But the arm ones, they look nice. The Arachna arms definitely look nice. As I'm saying, no, if I send Ken spiders, cover them in glitter. Zom, that is an absolutely horrible sentence, and please never even consider that kind of thing ever again. What the hell? Huh. Yeah, just don't send me spiders. Also, button. Clicky that button. There we go. Alright. That button fell off, but it's back on. From Derpy, completely related, finally made a Scourge Prime build, happy with. Fair enough then. Glad that works out for you. Absolutely. What's going on with the T's and C's earlier? You say you're having some issue with the translation.
2, 4, and 5. A neatly round number.
It is a pretty neatly round number, yes. It is divisible by 2, 4, and 5, you're absolutely correct. Also divisible by 1, and 10, and 20. And if you really want to, you can divide it by any other number, you just don't end up with a whole one, do you? Shezbot, thank you very much for the continued support at 20 months there. Much appreciated. Zom, why are you threatening people with Black Widows? Just don't throw spiders at people. A good idea is to just not throw spiders at people, I'll be quite honest. Throwing spiders is a bad thing. Good thing is, Shezbot has kicked us over into a level 2 hype train. Level 1 is now complete, so that is one hype bonus giveaway on the list there. Seriously, what is up with this terms of play thing? Now, let's see. Limited time, cannot be combined with other offers. Is that it? Okay. Discount only applies to purchase of 5 or more gifts at once. Makes sense. And there must be single month gifts. Okay. Fair enough. Pretty basic stuff, really. What about throwing crabs at people? Do not throw animals at people in general. Why are we throwing animals at people? Bad. Bad juju. Stop. Hello, Mantis. Yo,
Hello.
Dark Wolf Seal.
It's that time again.
It is indeed that time again, isn't it? Would you look at that? Dark Wolf Steel with the 19-month resub. Looks like we've got a whole bunch of heavy hitter resubs that just all happened to land on today. I ain't going to complain. Thank you very much for continued support there as well. Dark Wolf Steel. Cheers. Did I deploy the tank you gave me? In which game? Yo, Great Cape Goomba. Thank you very much for subscribing with your Prime as well. Up onto 7 months there. Seriously, y'all are rolling them in today. Much appreciated. Barely even started the stream so far. Cheers. Okay, and there's another. We've got Witherfang of the 19 variety, but up on 36 months. Witherfang, thank you very much for continued support there for 3 whole years. That is beautiful right there. You see a lack of tanks on the floor? I haven't got the truck. Let's see, where would I have put the tank? Because I was running it out of space to place things. So it could be rolling around in here, it could be rolling around in here. I may not have placed it down. We've got whatever that one is. Honestly, it could be anywhere. There's just so many things all over the place at this point. All over the place. We will hydrate after the stream. Oh, I don't know about that. It is a sweltering day once again in this office. And I had to rush to the shop and back because I realised I ran out of milk not long before stream. Can't be out of milk. I can't have a proper cup of tea without milk to put in it. Huh? I had to hurry on over, get to the store, find out that all the milk they have left is on the top shelf at the back. I can't reach that. I'm 5'5". I can't reach the top shelf, let alone the back of the top shelf. And of course, right at that moment then is when conspicuously every other shopper is not even within 20 feet of me. There's no one nearby. Great, no one can even ask for help. But then something saved me. For some reason, they had left out, the shop workers just left out a couple of the tools they had been using, including a little stepladder. So I officially went to the shop today. I say officially, just legitimately went to the shop today and had to use a stepladder to get the milk. So that's twice I've had to use a stepladder today. One for a light bulb deciding to give up before work starts, and the other to go get bloody milk from the shop. Look, safety regulations we climb. Oh yeah, if the shop has any kind of regulations of safety or whatnot about, oh, but we can't have you risk hurting yourself getting the milk. Step 1, move the milk to where people can reach it.
Only one more till a full year of subs. Kangy Poke Snack.
Oh, wait, only one more... But Kelton. 14 is bigger than 12. So I'm not sure... 11-month streak? Oh, you didn't share your streak. You only shared your resub. You didn't share the streak with it. So, I just see the 14 months. All the same, thank you very much, Kelton, for the resub there. And hey, I'm going to take you out on the 11-month streak then, absolutely. Cheers indeed on that. Oh my word, we're still going. Christ. Also, Flo, thank you for the bit. And then we've got here from Massive Chungus, subscribe with their Prime. Subscribing now up onto 6 months. That's got you the lovely golden badge next to your name as well. Much appreciated. Cheers. Just saying, I noticed that Oraxia skill set seems to be applying damage vulnerability on a third ability. Is that correct? No. It applies Toxin and Impact, which can also apply Corrosive, which can Armor Strip, which is a damage vulnerability of sorts. But directly, no. So I'm not sure what you're seeing. Skeleton, thank you for the bit. Oh, excuse me. We are currently halfway through a level 3 hype train, so there's 2 bonus giveaways to throw in after that hype train concludes. What I think we'll do, because it's such an early train, is spread those out over like the first like half hour or so stream. Just give others who have not quite arrived yet a little bit of an opportunity, you know? Just a little bit. As also find 3 of all things is coded as a weapon. Oh, the actual darts from 3? Yeah, there's no rescuing that in terms of being a damaging ability outright. It's the scuttlers that do the damage. Now, I've been doing some digging into the minutiae of all of these abilities, by the way. I've been really digging into them. The passive, this is a really strange one. The passive works completely as expected with no quirks or difficulty whatsoever. I couldn't find a single thing. It's just wall latch of any kind anywhere for a briefest moment. Just starts 8 seconds of invisibility. You start it again, it happens again. It just works. The invisibility is actual invisibility. There's no question to it. It does what it should do. Elio, thank you very much for the gifted sub going on over to Silency there. I'm sure they'll appreciate that as and when they're around for it. I know that Silency's not available to join us right this moment, but they'll say thank you in due course. I know that for certain. But cheers, Elio. Yo, Witherfang. unfortunately just after the end of the train there, but all the same, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. That's gone out to Demo, to Crisis WF, to Here's Johnny, to Pirate, and to Vashguy. With a thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs there. You know what? Looking at it, we were at 76% of the level 3 hype train. So, with a thing, maybe you wanted that to be just after the end. Nope, you wanted to be part of the train. So, you know what? Twitch sets the time, I don't, but I set the giveaways. So, those 5, they would have pushed us fully through level 3. So, I'm saying it now. That's a triple giveaway. That ain't a 2, that's a 3 right there. We may not have officially hit the level 3 hype train completed, but we did. You did it. So we're absolutely doing 3 giveaways. So what we'll do then, we'll do 1 now, then I'll go through the abilities and the quirks I found so far, and then we'll do the other 2 giveaways on that one. I think that sounds about right. Is the free community hype post supposed to be stopped? Oh, did that one time out? You guys didn't, you didn't finish that one in time. Oh dear. Well, let me get over to that one real quick. I mean, it was supposed to run out at the end of the month. But let's extend that, because we're now extending the whole thing for another month. There we go. That should be re-extended. Hydrate. Cheers, Darkwolf. Oh. Alright then. With that extended. Yeah, let's spin up the first of these. We're going to do a Omniformer giveaway. Omniformer giveaway. Let's have a look at that one then, shall we? So if I just flash this little thing up onto screen, if it's going to work. There it is. Omniformer giveaway. Actually, I just put Omniformer, that's the item. No need to put the word giveaway there. And let's get that started, shall we? There we go. Omniformer giveaway has started. Put exclamation mark hype me in the chat for a chance to win that. Exclamation mark hype me. Doesn't matter if you capitalize it or not. As long as you put in that phrase and just that phrase, you are in it with a chance to win it. We can see all those names streaming right into there. Look at all those lot. Absolutely. Give you all a moment to enter on that. It's a simple 1-minute countdown. You only get to enter once. Don't you worry. Now, I must warn you, if you are a moderator, your chances of winning are exactly the same as everyone else's. However, if you win, the pitchforks will come out and people will hunt you down. So, fair warning, mods, if you do enter the giveaway, be prepared for lynch mobs. 6 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. And our winner is Copy Human. Copy Human, congratulations. If you please pop exclamation mark claim into the chat. And there it is, Copy Human. That is yours. 1 Omniformer is going to be coming your way. You should have a Twitch DM straight from me right there. So if you could just reply on that one there with your Warframe username and platform, we can get that Omniformer sent straight on over to you. If you can't reply to the DM, then pop it in just the Twitch chat. But the DM is if you want to keep the privacy on your account there. Also helps me keep a record as to who wins when. Need to hydrate before you dehydrate? Yeah, definitely look after yourself, of course. A stream doesn't have to be watched that religiously. You can absolutely go ahead and grab a drink. Right, we'll do the other 2 giveaways once we've gone through these 4 ability quirks from the research I have been doing. So, Mercy's Kiss. This one, the quirk is less so about the ability and more so about what it interacts with. But let's talk about the ability itself first. The ability is one of the best I have ever seen D create in terms of usability cases. One of the absolute best. The reason for this is that with so many different targeted abilities, it's so easy to target the wrong thing and then you're just upset that it's gone wrong. And this is a point targeted ability. If it's not pretty much on your crosshair, it ain't gonna hit. But when you consider that you really need to target a specific enemy, the one that has the mark above their head, and not all the others that may not be marked, the chance of it going wrong would by default feel horrible. And DE, thankfully, planned ahead for that. If there are a whole bunch of enemies, even ones in front of your vision, and there is an enemy in your line of sight, in your targeting zone or cone that has the mark, the ability will choose that enemy. It doesn't just latch onto the enemy closest to the center of your reticle. If it's quite clear you wanted to go for a merciable enemy, it'll go for that one instead. So you can always safely use this ability when you are looking at least pretty much on your target, even with others all around. That seems like it should be obvious design. It seems like the kind of thing where you go, no duh, of course you want that. But there are other targeted abilities where they don't have any such leeway. They'll just do whatever they damn well do. So it's nice that this one has that there. What was I going to say on it? Yeah, that is the general... Yeah, further still, if you target an enemy, you begin the actual leap animation, it doesn't matter if the enemy dies before you get there. Even if they die whilst you are en route to them, such as a status block you applied to get them to that threshold, ticking them to death, you still get the full benefits. So they don't have to die to this ability, you merely need to have cast the ability on them and have them die somewhere between starting the ability and landing the hit. So long as somewhere up to there actually has the killing blow, you get the full benefits. You get the health orbs, you get the energy orbs if you got a high enough chance for it. So you can't even have the kill stolen from you by an ally or an NPC, so long as you actually triggered it in the first place. So that's another nice feature. There are various other abilities which will refund their energy cost if you use them on an enemy but it dies before the ability actually hits them. But this one doesn't do the refund, it just gives you the benefits. So again, brilliant. Don't want to say negative strength Oraxia time? Why would you want to do that? Ew. Sure, just take away all of the orb generation, why not? For the memes? Nah. Now, the further quirk I want to talk about is actually with regards to mercies themselves. Pop quiz for those of you in chat. What percentage of health needs to be remaining on a Xmas unit for you to be able to perform a mercy kill? No impact procs, no other shenanigans, just how much of their health must be remaining, how much or less than, before you can mercy kill an Xmas. I'm seeing 30, 40, 20, 35, 80. Okay. Every single person so far is wrong. Every single person so far is wrong. The closest so far would be Dark Wolf Steel. The closest so far is Dark Wolf Steel. Alex Kelmo is picking up someone up and putting down here. Not all of it, just the broadest value. So let me show you. Let me show you. I'm going to grab a Xmas here. We're going to start with an Arid Trooper Xmas. Let's go level 10. There we go, let's spawn them in. And before I go have a look at him, let's spawn in another one, level 100. And you know what, let's do a level 150. There we go. And let's do a level 225, max it out. Here we are, whole bunch of Xmas. At a glance, you don't know which one's which. This one's our level 10. Now, I need to be very, very careful because he's level 10. I might just kill him. So let's just... There we go. Oh! I had to be very careful I didn't accidentally kill him there. Once you remove the overguard, you can see the mercy threshold. And we can see the mercy threshold here. It's just below the S of Leech Xmas. Okay. It's gone now, because mercies don't stay around forever if you don't actually act on them. Just, I didn't want to get him below the threshold, but it was just there. It was at 80%. Alright then, next up, let's go with our level 100 here. Now you, I could shoot. There we go, we'll just let that take out their overguard, give it a moment. And here we are again. We can see, yep, there is the mercy threshold. It's at 80% of their maximum health. So that is very understandable. And we're going to go to the level 150 next. Bap. Oh, that should just clear off the overguard quite nicely. Boom, there it is. Once again, 80% of their maximum health. There is the mercy threshold. So why did I tell the people guessing 80% that they were wrong? Because you were wrong! Here is the same Xmas unit as all the others, except it's level 225, and that mercy threshold, oh dear, that is not 80% in the slightest, that is 50%. That is 50%. 80, 80, 80, 50. So it turns out, I didn't know this until properly researching Oraxia here, it turns out that above level 150, every single unit that has a mercy threshold has that mercy threshold come down. The mercy threshold comes down by 0.2% per level for normal units, so heavy gunners, that kind of thing, or 0.4% per level for Xmas units. Down to a minimum of 20% on Xmas, 20% on shielded non-Xmas, and 10% on non-shielded non-Xmas. And this would include Skuldra fucking Dedicants. By level 300, Xmas and unshielded heavy units will be at their minimum mercy threshold. Without any impact procs, that means a Skuldra Dedicant level 300 and above has a 10% mercy threshold. And if you use impact procs, you can add on 40 points to that maximum with 5 procs, which will bring it up to 50%. Whereas normally you could bring them up from their base of 40 for Dedicants, or base of 80 for Xmas, to a base of 80 for Dedicants, base of 100% for Xmas. Oh yes indeed, this guy right here, level 150, if I just put some impact procs into him, you can see he is now merciable at maximum health. You just need to break the overguard, put 5 impact procs, you can kill every single health-only Xmas. But they get higher level, and even with maximum impact procs, you still need to get that bit of damage down on them. And 225 is only halfway through the reduction. That against the unit with the green turtle shell on their back? Yeah, the one that has damage attenuation despite not even being an Xmas unit. Let alone a mini-boss or boss. So this is... this is something that was completely unknown to me, I'll be quite honest. It may have been known to many of you, but it was completely unknown to me. Level 150 is this end of the normal mercy thresholds on all units. They come down after that until they hit the minimums, which for Xmas and non-shielded heavy units, that's level 300. For shielded normal units, it's level 350 because of where they start their position at. So yeah. Tofu Panda saying, have you seen a thing where her 3 applies half the amount of toxin procs while you're in a 4? I have not seen that. I don't know what you're about on that one, so I'll have to see what you are on about in just a moment. I say, nicely played when spawning enemies though, didn't suspect anything. Yeah. Honestly, I was really surprised to find out about this, but it also explains why Mercies just felt that a bit more difficult to achieve in higher level missions. And it also then affects Oraxia. Oraxia is able to use her 1 on targets which are either below half health, specifically health, or if they are open to a mercy kill. This guy is not open to a mercy anymore because his mercy timing has run out. So in order for me to use my 1 lethally on him, assuming the damage isn't already enough, I would need to get him below half health now. But because he's a level 10 enemy, I can just do that. And he dies. This one, I just need to get him below the mercy threshold. Very easy to do because of impact procs, job done. This one, bit more work required. 4 impact procs were still not there. Now I can do it. Now, something I haven't tested yet is the effect of pure toxin on that. How am I going to test this? Let's grab a tech. One corpus tech. Not steel path. Level 50 might be too much for how I want to test this. So let's just go skidoosh. Oh, that was far too much. But it did show me what I needed to see. That was just far, far too much. Let's try that again, shall we? There we go. And yeah, he's below half health, even though he's got shields. He's eligible to be hit with that. So yeah, it is definitely just a below half health, regardless of other circumstances. Spiders. Not even once. Yeah. Build weapons for impact with Oraxia. Got it? Now, hey, it's Kabu. It's lovely that you mentioned that, because you see this thing here? You see these... You saw that thing here? You see these things? Scuttlers have a curious little trait about them. I don't know if Oraxia even mentions it. Let's double check. Barrage of stinging darts applies toxin status effect. Spawns scuttlers. Go into abilities. Is it in the tips? Use impact procs. There we go, yeah. Scuttler bites also deal impact status effects with added duration. So if I bring back this Corpus Tech and also a Xmas. There we go. Hello, Corpus Tech. Get infected. Bam. And now the Scuttler's going to come over here and have a go at this guy. And you see, we've got those impact procs at 5 so quickly. Wha-bam! Ain't it a good little bug? So yes, in that regard, impact procs do not need to be on your weapons, because the Scuttlers will bring them, and they bring them fast. So yeah, spiders are not bugs? Nope, but this is a bug. Because it's also not a spider, but I'm going to call it a spider. Yeah. Fair enough, Zom. I'm not going to look too far into the whole impact proc duration, because let's face it, if the Scuttler's on it, you should be able to deal with it by that point. How many legs does it have? Yes. So yeah, Oraxia's kit is well set up to work with itself in those kind of ways. In fact, it's to the point where I don't really want a helmet on anything on her in pretty much any circumstance. For those curious, by the way, the shards I'm currently rocking are toxin status effects deal 30% more damage, 3 times over, so it's 90% more damage. And I've got 2 Tau Forge casting speeds, because casting speed is nice. Basically. I haven't actually done the timing check yet on the casting speed effect. That's one test I still need to do, but that's the last thing. But yeah, when it comes to the Mercy's Kiss then, it's very generous in its targeting. It'll always try to make sure that it's targeting an enemy that is eligible for the full benefits, rather than one of the other enemies that might be close to your reticle. And even if the enemy dies during your attack, it'll still give you the full benefits. Yeah, if you're midway onto the leap and then something else kills it, you still get the orb drops. So very, very nice. Jalapeno asking, have they fixed the Emerald Corrosive on the Scuttlers? I have no idea. What was it that needs fixing? What needs fixing? You do like the first ability refunds itself most of the time? Oh, the first ability can do more than refund itself most of the time. Because... Equilibrium! Health pickups give plus 110% energy. And energy to health as well. So if you drop 508% health orb drops, that's a guaranteed 5 health orbs, that's a guaranteed 250 health, that's a guaranteed 275 energy. On top of the energy. If you need energy with Oraxia, and to be fair, she does go through a fair amount of it. If you want energy, Equilibrium and this, you're laughing. Just laughing. Helping to... It didn't apply the toxic remark on continuity. Oh, so not shards. Didn't you say shards earlier? Emerald corrosive. Okay, so emerald I took to mean emerald shards, yeah. But that's nothing to do with it. How much better are green ones over red ones? The what? Shards do different things, so that's not really a question I can answer, sorry. Shards been fixed? Yeah. So, the Scuttlers dealing Toxin also deal Corrosive as a result of Arc and Continuity. That definitely works. So if that was the question, somewhere in those questions, yes. It does work. Now, here's an interesting one that doesn't work. No. Let's go through Webbed Embrace first. Let's go through Webbed Embrace. So this one threw me for a loop in testing, and I had to extensively test it, and came to the conclusion that D's level geometry is a fickle bastard, and I hate it. That's what I came to. So for this, let's go to the Citadel Simulacrum. There we go, and I'm going to switch off the Torrid to the Catch Moon, simply because it's going to be more suitable for what I needed to do right now. What ephemera is blocks of cheese orbit around you? That's not an ephemera, that is a mod. Health conversion. Those are armor buffs floating around me, and they will stay until I take damage. So yeah, health conversion. So, let's spawn in now some Elite Lancers, a whole bloody bunch of them, not the Xmas. Whole bloody bunch of them, there we go. Absolutely everywhere. Look at that masterful array of stuff. So first things first, let's also switch my build over to a really high range one. Cheese armor? Yeah, because Warframe is a game designed to be cheesed. There we go. Alright, so if I drop this here, will I have enough range at this point? Maybe not. Ah, yes. So they're within range, and none of them are webbed. Go figure. So that confirms straight up that there is some kind of line of sight check going on, because not a single one of them is webbed. Not one. I'm going to need a bunch more energy. There we go. So what about if I do it right here? Webbed. So this is a spherical effect, despite the fact that it appears to expand horizontally and not coat the ground otherwise. If I do two more here, you can see the effect on the ground is gone, but it is still affecting them down here. It is spherical. If they start moving, do they get webbed? Oh, if they're just walking around inside of the zone but still no LOS, only once they get into LOS. So I can demonstrate that now. Let's put a fresh one up here just to make sure the timer is as long as possible. What? Brain, what the fuck was that? There we go. So, now let's use this to march you forwards. Come on, over here. Keep going, no burning, keep moving. And he's now in line of sight and range of it. He is webbed. Do you see? It is definitely an LOS thing, and definitely can affect them after the fact once they come into the line of sight and LOS for it. So let's do another one over here. You'll notice none of those are affected, despite the fact that they're on the floor for it. Because the game doesn't render the LOS checks, it just renders a circular area. But if I shove him over with impact procs, please take less heat. Come on. A little bit further. God damn it, I've got too much heat. There we go! Now, strange things happen. Oh, I thought you got there. Strange things happen when they get close to it. Go over... Oh, fuck's sake. I need to spawn stronger ones. These guys are too weak. Let's spawn stronger units. There we go. And let's reduce the modding on my kit a bit. Let's do that, that. There we go. Okay, I should be less likely to accidentally murder them now. So again, I'm placing down the area. You'll notice those ones over there are webbed because they have LOS on it. But these guys, no LOS, not webbed. Let's force him over. Come on. Boom. I wouldn't say that's in LOS. But he decides it is. He's affected now. Let's move this one over. Come on. I'm going for a walk. And by walk, I mean I am bullying you in this direction. Please do not fall in that. Boom. Gets webbed there. And the webbing has just ended, so a couple seconds later, and he's free again. So, LOS is definitely a part of it. The LOS is not based on your frame either. So if I pop this here, I can't see them, but they're affected. I can see these ones, but I think they're actually just out of range anyway for that little attempt at a demo. But yeah, if I do the throw from here, I can definitely see them. They would be in range, but my LOS doesn't count for it. It is only the projectile's LOS. So it is definitely a pure LOS, not new LOS on this one. Again, if I do here, see, that guy's unaffected despite how close he is to it. There he's affected because the game's a little bit generous on LOS when it comes to very, very close distances. So at that point there, I would have said he wasn't in LOS, but the game says he is. So yeah, it's LOS from point of impact. And I think that structure there might be enough to block the viewpoint to that one, yeah. And this is why I had to do so much testing. This is why I had to do so much testing to be certain about the type of LOS it's supposed to be doing. So, this guy was not an LOS at that spot, but these lot... Oh dear. Oh, that's a good one. So, if I had to guess as to what just happened there, I'm going to wager that the projectile did its check from just slightly inside the wall. Are these pillars hard to attach to? No, that looks fine to me. The projectile landed just slightly inside the wall. This part of the pillar has its geometry just wide enough that the line trying to reach this guy couldn't. It was blocked. But then inside the pillar, the geometry isn't checked going inside out. It's like how if you go underneath a hitbox, underneath the map, you can see into the map sometimes. So I imagine, if I had to guess, just inside there is where the projectile went. The projectile was looking at this exterior wall to the enemy. And so said, nope, that's blocked. But this part of the geometry was inside of, and so he could look through it and hit these. That would be my guess. The only way I can verify that, really, is to do it again. Has Silken Stride sent me out of bounds at all? Nope, not even once. But I have also only been playing as host. Yeah, I think my supposition is correct. Oh, I got those ones over there as well. I think my supposition is correct here, but it is just a supposition. This guy is affected as well, which reinforces my guess that I've actually thrown it just slightly through the geometry there. Why that's happened, I don't know. But yeah. If I haven't tried a new Citrine Augment, I should. That is not my focus right now. I'm looking at Oraxia. But I appreciate the suggestion. I will be looking at all the augments in due time. But yeah. Oraxia go burr. So far, so good. LOS is LOS. And level geometry do level geometry things. Do I have Oraxia's Ephemera? Yes, it was gifted to me by DE. Very nice of them. Okay. Other things of note with the Webbed Embrace. It expands out to its maximum radius over the course of 2 seconds, but it is still just the radius it states, more or less. It is spherical, but line of sight. Damage vulnerability, which currently is set to 69%, nice. Damage vulnerability only applies to webbed enemies. So any overguarded or just control immune enemies in the area do not gain the damage vulnerability just for being in the area. They have to be webbed for that to take effect. So you're missing out on some potential damage on the stronger units. The units you'd want more damage against, unfortunately, are resistant to it. Just resistant. Enemies that enter the area after the zone has finished expanding also do get webbed, but there is about a 2-second delay, and from my testing I see the reason for that 2-second delay. So let me do a demonstration as to why. If I pop a zone, here we go. There we are, they're webbed. These ones, come on, move on up. Come get me. Come and get me. Yep, another one's getting webbed over there. Getting webbed. So the reason for the couple seconds of delay, the reason for that couple seconds, from my understanding, is to ensure that enemies don't accidentally body block others. It's to make sure they don't body block others. Those couple seconds allow them to filter in through a choke point. And then they get stuck. So you can get more enemies locked up. Whereas other abilities, which have tried to control enemies or confuse enemies, one of my core complaints with Corvex's Pillars, for example, is that one enemy goes into the zone and it stops the others from going into the zone. So this avoids that. They have to actually get into the zone for a couple seconds, and then they get webbed. And you can see the LOS having strong effect here. He's going to rotate around, and hopefully he'll rotate into LOS. Where did I throw it? Is like here? I mean, if I stand where I threw it... Bitch. Let's kill these off. But yeah, so there is a couple second delay on that. And the same is true for overguarded enemies. Once you strip the overguard from them, 2 seconds later, locked up. Can I explain why Oraxia spawns spiders at double the enemy's level? Because this game is brokey wokey. I have no idea. Without further details, I have no idea. And even with the details, I wouldn't have any idea. Very sorry. The only thing I can say is if you're looking at it in Simulacrum, Simulacrum is its own special level. But why it's double the enemy level, if it's in a normal mission, no idea. Reported to DE, I suppose. If you feel like it. Alright then. I'm spending a hot minute on going through some of these abilities, so let's do those other 2 hype giveaways first. Let's see, what's the next giveaway going to be? The spinner says a 7-day booster. So let's pop out of here. I'll send off the first of the giveaways, which I need to send over to Copium. We'll do that whilst we do the draw. We're going to do a 7-day booster draw. Let me just get this up on here. If you win, you get to pick which booster you get. So let's get this up onto screen. Start the giveaway. ! Hype me in the chat for a free chance to win. No paid entries, is just a free giveaway. Exclamation mark, hype me in the chat there. Whilst I do this quick little senderino over to the winner of the Omniformer. Let's give one of those out to... Hype. It's going to... Yep, there we are. Splendid. Huzzah! Master Regnak as well. Thank you very much for the subscription with your Prime there. Up onto 11 months. Much appreciated. Cheers. Oh. And Tspin420. Thank you for the hydrate. We've got a lot of names in for this chance for a 7-day booster. Few seconds left on that there. Let's see who it's going to be. It is... Ackerboy01. Ackerboy01. Exclamation mark claim in chat, please. And that will confirm that prize for yourself there. Absolutely. Ackerboy01, congratulations. There we are. That is claimed. I'll send a message over to you from my account. You just respond to that there with the deets. I'll get that sent to you. Need to know which booster you're looking for as well, please. So do pop that in the message. And for our final of these 3 giveaways, let's do... 3 Oraxia reactors as spun as the final one. 3 Oraxia reactors. Now, I know some people don't remember which one is which. So Oraxia reactors, the ones that go on your Warframe, they go on your Archwing, Companion, that sort of thing. So let's get that one started. Whoop. Jakar, hold. Gotta start it. Guys! Wait for the bot or for the streamer to announce it. My words. You can see on screen that I haven't actually typed it in yet. Oraxia reactor. Did I say times 3? I did say times 3. We'll do 3 of them. Yep. Let's... Now let's start. There we go. Because that's when the bot says you can type it in. I see Ackerboy. Not satisfied with having won 1 giveaway, is trying for another. Okay, I see you there. I see you. Let's see, did Copy Human grab themselves another one, just out of curiosity? No? Okay. Alright. It's each person's choice. Oh, did we hit the community one as well? Well, damn, I guess we'll have to do another, won't we? We'll have to do an extra giveaway on top of this one. I'm absolutely fine with that. Love being able to give this out to all of y'all. Absolutely. With the support you lot give, you deserve it. You lot absolutely deserve it. 10 seconds left on this one. Exclamation mark hype me for a chance to win 3 Oraxia reactors. And our winner for this one is the Great Caped Goomba. The Great Caped Goomba, congratulations if you just do a claim, and there it is. That should send the message over your way. Just respond with details to that as well there, please. And I've got the details here from Ackerboy. Ackerboy is asking for a credit booster. Right then, where's our 7-day one? There it is, 1 7-day booster. Let's give this over to... let's make sure this goes through correctly. It looks like there's just the one Ackerboy out there. Ackerboy, there you go. Splendid. Alright, whilst we wait for Goomba to come through, let's see what our final giveaway will be. The spinner has said another 3 Oraxia reactors. Sure, why not? Plenty of people wanted the first set. Let's do it again. I've got no issue with that. I'm sure all of you are hoping for a chance to win it. I've got no issue either. Let's roll it up. Exclamation mark hype me in the chat for a chance to win those 3 further Oraxia reactors. Whilst I spell it Orkin. No, Orokin. There we go, the words. I know what words are. Alright, let's see. So Great King Goomba has given me the deets. 3 of those. Great... Nope. Nearly read out the wrong bit of the name there. Gifted over with hype. 3 of those to that name. Yep. Sent. Oh. You said it was this one. What do you mean? No player found. You just gave me the player! Huh? I searched. You gave me the player. What do you mean no player found? You. So, Goomba, do you have cross-save turned on? Or did you give me the wrong name? I mean, the name popped up, so... Goomba, something's going on there. I don't know if maybe... If you're not logged in, cross-save... cross-trade gifts may not work. I don't know on that one. But double-check the details on that one for me, please. And, hey, it's Kabu! Congratulations, you are the winner of the other set of 3 Oraxia reactors. You should have a message through for me as well. You did send me the wrong details. How dare. Right then, let's try this again, shall we? Primed blank paper. There we go. There we go. Alright then. Do I have a recommendation on which aura mods to use on your Rayleigh? Check out my Rayleigh guide. Absolutely. Was my gravity frame? Definitely not Zephyr. Didn't realize you won. Yeah, well, looks like you've said have you claimed it? Yep, you've claimed it. You have indeed claimed it, so I just need you to respond to the DM there with the deets. I'll get those sent on over to you as well. Alright then, that is wrapping us up for the moment on the hype giveaways, the bonus ones. Let's get the next community challenge started as well, so you can start straight away on the next. There we go, set this up just the same. Twitch does not save these, so I have to retype them, but that's fine. Created. And start it. Bollocks. I think I just hit the wrong button. Oh well, I think I just gave you all a bunch of extra channel points. Whoopsies. That was a mistake. Well, that one's going to get finished quicker than expected. Why did it do that? Oh well. Do I have a video on Harrow? I do not know. Well, the Emerald Shards? Toxin damage, yes. The plus ability damage is not as interesting to me, considering she is a weapons platform. Alright then. Let's send over these bits to... Yep. Gooma's got theirs, so we need to send this over to Kabu. Oraxia reactors, gift them over, 3 of those. It's going to... Hype. No, not hoop. Hype. I can spell. There we are. Splendid. You think Praxis spiders might scale with both level and power strength? Praxis spiders? What the fuck are Praxis spiders? Oraxias. It's just a typo. Got it. I was going to say. They scale with only level. Mission level. They don't scale with enemy level. They scale with mission level, not strength. Straight up. Fully tested. Let's get into those details. Let's go into all these details, shall we? So, we've talked enough about the 1 and the 2. Let's look at the 3 and the 4 now. On the 3, first of all, that weirdy schmeedy details I've already mentioned there. The scuttlers do not do increased damage as a result of strength. Straight up don't. So, your you're locked in the damage output you can get from them with regards to what you can put on your frame, I suppose. However, you can still buff them in other ways. For example, there is a very obvious pickup of Summoner's Wrath. Squad receives 75% companion and summon damage. This applies to them. They are summons, and because they're summons, they also do trigger Arcane Camisado, which will give you extra strength and gives them movement speed, but the strength doesn't make them stronger, although you can make them stronger via means of more damage vulnerability. So there is that. Thank you, Kelt, for the extra bit. Much appreciated. Now, you can also buff Scuttlers in another very interesting way, and that is Theorem Infection. Standing in a zone created by a residual arcane increases damage of companions and summoned allies within 90 meters by 24% per second, stacking up to 15 times. Effect persists for 20 seconds upon leaving the zone. I will admit this is not amazing. I don't like this approach. Straight up, I do not like it, but it does work if you want to run through all that effort. Let me just re-equip everything I took off on this demonstration-y thing. You back on, you back on, there we go. And for demonstration purposes, let's switch to this. Spiders don't scale with strength. Why are you getting a 2/2 spider when you cast the ability on a 120 enemy? Because you're in a level 220 mission? I went over this a second ago when you pointed out the first time, but apparently you don't believe me. So unless something changed in a hotfix and they didn't announce it, I'm telling you the truth as I know it, dude. Let's go. Let's go over here. Level 40 to 45 mission. Perfect. Seeing as you're insistent on believing anything other than what one has to say, let me just load this up for you. Alright, now I think I am on my Scuttler build, so the strength isn't going to be that high. Let's see here, my strength must be... Yeah, I'm seeing damage there, 79, 60. So I'm at, like, what, 199% strength? Yeah, it must be 199% strength. So, also, XSIX Revolt, thank you very much for your Prime sub there. Welcome to the channel proper. Enjoy your lovely blue sub badge. Oh. Cheers. And we got the orange bite request as well. Okay, so, demonstration. Just taking them out, and we got level 45, level 45, 45, 45, 45. Now, if we were going to get strength multiplier on the level of the enemies, I wouldn't be seeing level 45 in a level 40 to 45 mission. This is a level 43 enemy. And it spawns 45. Level 40 enemies. Spawning level 45. So I don't know what you're experiencing, and if you are experiencing something weird, then sure enough, go ahead and report it, and you can look into fixing it. But the simple and very obvious truth that I can give you here is that it is not tied to strength. It's just not. There we are. Would the mecha set spread damage vulnerability? Damage vulnerability is not a status type, no. Yeah, it is mission level, which sets the level that the Scuttlers spawn at, and that mission level is starting mission level only. Which means that a ongoing mission, like with, well, with Disruption, with Survival, with Void Cascade, any of that lot, but you'll notice it most in Cascade and Disruption, where the enemy levels start rapidly climbing, the Scuttlers don't. Now, Revolt saying it means they eventually lose effectiveness. They lose their effective damage output, but only in the same way our weapons do. Our weapons don't scale with enemy level, and yet our weapons can still work.
You are a true hunter.
The same is true for the Scuttlers. Sure, yeah, they haven't got bajillions of damage output, but they do still deal Toxin procs, Corrosive procs, if you've got Arc Continuity, and Impact procs, and all of that is valuable. All of it. Yeah, I remember what was down here. Yep, yep. Does it change based on your first level up of the frame? I think the minimum level of the scuttlers is the level of your frame. So, in every test I've done at max level, they've always spawned scuttlers of level 30. Always. Doesn't matter how low level the mission went, always minimum 30, unless the mission was higher level. So that is the other modifier to it. It's mission level, or possibly frame level, whichever's higher. It'd be weird if it wasn't based on frame level for that minimum. Right, let's spawn in a bunch of these. Let's spawn them in at only level 50, just so I don't have to waste time actually killing them. Now, if I hit this guy right here, we've got a scuttler. We can see they're going to get to work. And we can see them attacking with both toxin and corrosive damage. Oh, we got multiple scuttlers. Off they go to work. Now, come on, one of you. And this is why I don't like the arcane. There it was. Too late. Oh well, didn't notice it. Okay. So you might notice something weird about how those enemies died. You might notice gas procs are happening. We now have gas procs happening all over the place. So the reason for this is because of the Theorem Infection Arcane in combination with residual boils in this case. Yeah, residual boils. So residual boils gives my kit gun a heat damage bonus when I'm standing in the area. Or no, sorry, it gives my Theorem Arcane a damage bonus. And my Theorem Arcane is giving that damage bonus to companions and summoned allies. Because it is an arcane rather than an ability, I guess, the way it's coded is that it acts like a straight up mod. Let's have some better enemies this time. It acts like a mod rather than a Warframe ability, so it combines with the toxin of the scuttlers and turns it from toxin into gas. Okay, I tried affecting just the one, but the guy behind me got hit as well. Whatever. There we go, so we got one scuttler. At the moment it's doing toxin corrosive, and it's doing a pretty decent job of killing. One scuttler on its own is not really what you want to have multiple, but still good. None of those triggered. That's a downside of this. Come on. One of you's got to do it. Come on! What is this? I've gone through all of them. Not one trigger. God damn it. So this is the weakness of it. This is why I don't like the setup. Do you lose the corrosive mark and continuity when the arcane starts working? Yes. I was going to get to that, but more I wanted to try and demonstrate it again, but this goddamn arcane... This is my issue with it. On kick and kill, 20% chance. 20% chance to give out these benefits. Why? Why is it so low? I have to use a kit gun for it, and then I have to have an arcane on my Warframe as well to get the benefit from the arcane that's giving the benefit. And I can only get that bonus in a 10-meter area, standing in it for 15 seconds to get the full benefit, and yet it only persists for 20 seconds outside of the zone. And I say, this is a lot of hoops to jump through. This is a lot of hoops to jump through, and as we just saw there, I was jumping through the hoops, and the 20% said, nah brah. So by the time myself and the scuttlers had killed everything, didn't trigger once. 20%. Also, what is going on with this? This is a bug I know nothing about. I don't know if it's a UI bug or what, but it's certainly a Simulacrum Go Burr thing. My 75% aura is currently reporting a 1050% bonus. What? It's not just Sim, so what is it then, Zom? This happens in mission, so what is it then, Zom? What is it? How is this happening? I probably only say maybe it's an old mod that hasn't been reworked, so it's design already enough. Yeah. It's old and it's not good. Yeah. No idea. Oh, okay. Right, fair enough. You had 17,000% heat bonus from Rip as well in UI during our Weaver run. God damn, UI really is having its moments to recently, isn't it? Yikes. So anyway, here's what happens if all of this works. Did D fix Archon Shards affecting Scholars? Yeah. Which Archon Shard for which not affecting what? Sorry, Protomax. I don't know all of the patch notes offhand to know which particular bug you've experienced. Sorry. Green Shards. Okay, no. I don't know what you're referring to there. You're going to have to be very specific. They mean the toxin shards for damage. Okay, right. So that is testable. Because again, I've not memorized every bug. If you just go, has they patched a bug on a shard? I'm not going to be able to figure out, sorry. But I'll have to get back to that. Residual Boils. Gives out a heat bonus to your Theorem Arcanes. On its own, sure, why not? We've just added heat into it. Infection, giving us 24% times 15. That comes out to 360% bonus, if I'm doing my numbers correctly there. 360% bonus to bugs that are otherwise not getting bonuses of this type. So that is just straight up a lot more damage. But you need to be in the area for 15 seconds to get the full amount. You need to be creating these areas constantly to keep on reapplying that bonus. This bonus entirely vanishes once it runs out. It doesn't have a decaying stack, doesn't have a descale, it just vanishes. And because it is a modded bonus... Come on guys, perish. Actually, you know what? Do that. There we are. This tiny little thing is your entire indication that you've got a bonus area. Fun fact, that ring is not the bonus area. The bonus area is out to about here, I think. Oh, it's ended, so I'll kill another one. So I get it. Nope. 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 Come on. Oh, boy. There we go, we got a trigger. So we can see the ring. Here it is. Here's the distance it actually gives the bonus out to. For some reason. So... yeah. That's just a thing. Alright, let's see. So, pretty much saying shards and corrosive stacks don't affect scuttlers at the moment. Was wondering if it's fixed yet, because Dev said it was a bug. Alright, let's have a look what's going on with that. So, shards and corrosive stacks. Well, corrosive should be easy to test, so let's just infect one of you. There we go. There's our bug. Let's see, damage is definitely scaling up as they take corrosive procs. So corrosive is having an effect. We can see Archon Continuity is having an effect because as it deals toxin damage, it's also dealing corrosive procs. So those two are definitely working. As for the tick damage from the hits, I'm seeing some procs there which are pretty substantial. Pretty damn substantial. Past 10 stacks. Okay, so specifically, can they apply the corrosive past the 10th? I don't know about that then. And to be quite honest, I'm not going to apply that shard because I don't think that's going to be really necessary. If I remind myself on the corrosive equation, if I recall, for enemies, it's capped at 2700 armor, and it is... What was it now? In terms of damage reduction, was it cube root? I'll look it up. I forget what the actual equation was at this point. They created yet another new armor equation, so... armor for enemies... Where is it? Okay, it's going to be in the damage reduction section. Let's go to that page, wiki. What? Oh, this is a huge page of stuff I don't need. What do you mean it's back in the armor page? I was on the armor page. Oh, Christ on a bike. I'll say it's 2700 times 3 to the power of 0.5. Okay. Cool, there we are. Thank you. So, corrosive at 10 stacks is 80% removal. So 2700 times 0.2 is the remaining amount. 540 times 3. Root answer is 40% damage reduction. If I'm understanding that correctly, 40% damage reduction left, which, don't get me wrong, that's still a decent amount of damage reduction. It means that you can increase your damage from 60% to 100% by removing that last bit. But missing out on that is very far from the end of the world. Very far from the end of the world. So, I don't know whether or not it's working at this point in time. If you have the experience that it's not working, definitely hand that over to DE and they can look into it further. I would say that removing these shards for those would not be necessary at this point. Vince saying, there is a green shard that increases damage dealt with abilities to enemies affected by corrosive. Remember hearing it didn't work with the little guys? Maybe that's the question. No, they had a different question, but thank you. Would Expedite Suffering work well with her then because of all the toxin stacks / green shards? If you want to use it, you can. I've never really been a big fan of Expedite Suffering as a thing. I feel like you can just kind of apply enough damage and move on to someone else. But if you want to use that, yeah, it will trigger off those procs, absolutely. Is it better to have the green shards for damage or red shards for strength? Well, ultimately that depends on your build. However, red shards for strength do not give you a lot of strength. Whereas these green shards for toxin status effects deal more damage is going to apply to all of your toxin status effects, right? So it's going to apply to the toxin status effects that you get out of your weapon, for example. And that is a big damn deal. If you want to go for extra strength though, sure, why not? Why not? The other reason I've gone for the greens rather than reds here is because, quite frankly, if I tell someone put on some strength shards, I might as well tell them nothing at that point. Because I'm calling out nothing of interest. It's just saying, hey, did you know you can have more strength? And just from an interest perspective, that is about the equivalent of me turning around and saying, hey, yeah, did you know you can aim for the head? At which point most people just kind of shrug and go, well, yeah, obviously. So yeah, red shards you can use. I would say that it's not strictly necessary, considering the amount of damage you can get out of the toxin can be quite nice. And you can get plenty of strength through modding anyway. This is a 199% strength that is just coming out of Blind Rage, and even then it's not really the focus of the build. Whereas something like these definitely pull more on the strength side of things. I think the lowest one, yeah, my lowest strength setup is the range focus, but that's because I've overextended Go Burr. The range here at 280%, it gets a little bit silly. It gets a little bit silly. But I'll focus on that in a moment. Still going through these abilities here. In terms of Widow's Brood, I don't think there's much other weirdness to talk about, other than the Scuttler's doing weird Scuttler things, and the scaling of them not being tied to strength, it's tied to mission level specifically, which is a choice. The angle is a very tight one, I've noticed. That 35-degree angle does not go very far. Which is... yeah, it's what we got. It is what we got on that one. And then Silken Stride. So Silken Stride is the one that gives you your spider form. It allows you to latch to places. It gives you a massive toxin bonus, except it only applies on non-incarnants. Let's go figure on that. It creates explosions from killed enemies, but those explosions aren't really that great. What they are good for is applying a casual bit of toxin, which you can turn into corrosive procs as well. So the AoE of it is almost pointless, other than for proccing purposes. But proccing purposes is also useful for galvanized savvy, that kind of thing. It's curious that the max health bonus is a straight multiplier to any health you've got, so you can get some obscene bonuses there. But otherwise, it is mostly on the level with what it says. Mostly. The weirdest thing I'd say, though, is its latching success. The wall latch success... I don't even mean to come this far back. Oh, we'll look at something else first. The wall latch success I've had with it is... I'm getting better with it, but it still feels shaky. It's not so much I'm getting better as I'm learning where it breaks, which is not how I'd want to feel about it. Do I think it'll be possible to test Oraxia with Shock Trooper subsumed on, specifically for where the Scuttlers apply electric procs and or receive bonus damage? My Oraxia, blah blah blah. Okay, I could certainly have a look to see if it works. That is an option, yeah. Let's just keep the door open. Wait. Why was my axe energy so low a moment ago? That's weird. Give it a moment to fill up a bit. There we go, that should do. Alright, let's go for a walk. So that is some obscene range, if I am quite honest. What is... who needs this amount of range? I ask you, who? Look at this thing! Yeah, we'll just stick to the spot there. This is a redonkulous distance. Now, it's not ultimate distance. There are still distances you can't reach. You have to do it in stages. Hi! But it gives you a lot of speed. And if you get it just right, you can just kind of yeet yourself quite a distance. Come on. Come on. Grab the tree. Oh, I'm running out of energy. Uh-oh. Thank you. Needed the energy. Next. Thank you. Because they're low level, I can just one-shot them with it. So I'm opposed to 380% range. Unfortunately, that requires you to either have a infusion or a relic fisher bonus. But still, kind of bonkers that this is just doable. Now, so far, something very interesting has not happened. I'm waiting for it to happen. Let's go over here and see if I can encourage it to happen. Hey guys! Gonna just shoot your stuff for a bit. Don't mind me. Oh, hi there. Come on. There you are. You can zip to the dropships. Flying enemy units are zippable. I would like more of them to spawn. This is the one time I would like some of those ships to appear, and they're just not appearing. Yep. My invis should run out. Hi guys! Do you want to deploy a beacon? Go on, you know you want to. Okay, that is weird. Why am I... I'm crouching and then aiming, and it's aiming like this? This feels weird. This feels weird. I don't like this. One of the first hot fixes was for Oraxia wall latching on frost bubbles. Yeah, that makes sense. G do be weird like that. Hi, I need some energy. Thank you. Ah, good. We got one of these. It's like, I'm aiming, I press crouch, and it just zooms there. Like, what even? Nah, this is not doing what I need it to do. Come on. We want the ships. And the little fighters. That has a nice glide. Maybe there's one over this way. Here we go. There it is. One Dargin. Alright then. What? Huh? Come on! It's not allowed to just despawn. It didn't even like bug out or something. It didn't, you know, go through that shockwave vanishing effect. It just existent. Okay, I'll find a new one. Saw a spider and noped out of there. Honestly, valid. I hate the fact that that happened, but completely valid. Smartest Grineer. Whee. But yeah, maximum range for this is... It's certainly a different way of moving around the planes. Oh, and then I went out of bounds. That happens. Also, the sheer range on that is disgusting. The sheer range on that is disgusting. How far can I do this? Actually, I've gone too far. I can't even see them. Where you at? Shit, where are they? I just heard a... Aha! Dargin. So here's the weird thing. It doesn't grab the Dargin. It grabs where the Dargin is at. So when they're moving really quickly, you end up behind them. Oh, wait. Okay, fair enough. I didn't realise I was aiming at that. So yeah, it can be difficult to keep up with them like this. I'm out of energy. Very sorry, I'm out of energy. Need to fix that. I've done this so wrong. There we go. I'm good again. So yeah, you can just zip to the dropships, zip to the Dargins, but it's not perfect. What are those little cheese box things circling my frame? That is health conversion. So that is giving me 1,350 extra armor. Which is, you know, a fair amount of armor for a frame that currently otherwise has, I think, 175? Or 125. She really lacks armor without it. Sadrux, cheers. Now, overall, a high-range, slightly above neutral strength setup isn't the most powerful, as you would expect with a range focus rather than a strength focus. These low-level targets? Sure, why not? Oh, well, he just perished of his own accord. What this thing excels at is, of course, doing what range does best. Massive fucking crowd control zones. Look at the area covered by a single cast. That is a large area. Do I think adaptation is overkill with health conversion? Honestly, no. If you want to health tank more, slap it on. It's up to 90% extra damage reduction. It depends on if you want to be health tanking more, or if you're going to be focusing more on invis. How long does the stun last? So with this setup, I've got the web lasting 39 seconds. 39 seconds of it. And you can deploy 3 zones, each covering their own area. As long as they get into LOS of it, there's the triggers, and then they're perishing because they're low level. So the damage is actually killing them. Which is its own brand of hilarious. Another Dargan that just ceases to exist, fair enough. I'm trying to catch up with my own shots, but not enough. Is making the range too big bad for her too, though, because it stops enemies from walking over because they get webbed? So it depends on what you're wanting from it. Do you want to crowd control the enemies, or don't you? If you want to crowd control them, then the 2 is great because you're just stopping them out at whatever distance. If you only want to make them take damage more easily, then you're not looking to crowd control them. That's just an after effect. So it comes down to your use case. Yoink. Where's that? Where's those critters? Oh, I'll hit those instead. The sheer distance of the leap is comical. Actually comical distance. So yeah, it's effective. You can't cast a 1 on this, sadly. But it works on those. Does it work on the turrets? Sadly not. Looks like machinery is not suitable for Widow's Kiss, at least grenade machinery. That, however... I see no god up here but me. Yeah, I don't know how I've done this one. Alright. Yep. God, even from this height you can still see it. That is a large area to cover. Does 1 apply her 4th explosion? I guess so. I did notice the enemies kind of exploding when I hit them. Yeah, I guess so. 1 applies the 4th explosion. Not that it's very useful most of the time, but still it's a bit of status spreading. That itself can be useful. So yeah, high range Oraxia on an open world. Have fun. Is this why I fell like on a step ladder at the grocery store? Thanks. Ah. Let's pop out of there. Now, overall, I have been picking at it, and honestly, I've just come down to the 4 core approaches. I've thought about helmets, I've thought about alterations and changes, but honestly, not enough stood out to really matter enough. You don't want to remove her 1, because her 1 is absolutely amazing when it comes to sustain. It is a huge source of energy, a huge source of health as well, a huge source of health orbs. It's just brilliant. So subsuming out that, I think, is a bad idea. It's also brilliant for taking down those tougher units that don't want to go down, because this works on necromechs. It works on dedicants. They don't need to be at a mercy threshold even. You've got them at 50% or less health, bam, they're dead now. Thanks for playing. So it is a brilliant ability and not a subsume choice. Webbed Embrace. Damage multiplier. Through the damage vulnerability, very nice to have. It can cover a wide area. It lasts for a pretty damn long time as well, so it's a solid CC and damage buffing altogether. I don't see a reason to remove it. I just, again, don't see a reason to remove it. Widow's Brood is brilliant. The Scuttlers not only distract enemies, they can hit them pretty damn quick, applying Toxin. You can turn it into a Corrosive proc as well, and they've got guaranteed impact procs. And you can buff them further if you really want to. But even just on their own in a normal build, they get a lot of work done, surprisingly. They do 50 damage at base, but then it is scaled by the same damage scaling as enemies have, based on level. So you can get a reasonable amount of damage out of them. And then Silken Stride. If you're removing this off of Oraxia, I kind of have to wonder why you're playing Oraxia at that point, to be quite honest. Considering it gives you the ability to zip around spider-like, it gives you the ability to wall latch indefinitely. It gives you massive increase to your health. It gives you massive increase to your toxin damage. It seems like a really odd one to remove, if you're going to remove anything. So, out of them all, I don't see room for a Helminth, to be quite honest. I just don't see room for a Helminth option, which is fine. It's a good thing. Does the one work on Disruption Demolishers? Good question. Let's verify. I'm fairly certain I tested this, but I'm going to verify. So I say remove the first on one build for Broodmother playstyle for Nourish. I mean, fair enough, considering Nourish does buff the Scuttlers and also is giving you energy sustain in a different way. So I can see the value there. Remove the third. The Scuttlers that are giving out Toxin, Corrosive, and Impact procs at a rapid rate, whilst also doing a not insignificant amount of DPS and distracting enemies for you. That's a choice. Like, you're welcome to remove it, but I do feel that's maybe not the smartest of choices, given the nature of her kit.
It's from Fortuna.
Alright, let's get cracking on this. I can see that some of y'all are saying that it does work on Demolishers, and that's absolutely fine. However, I also just enjoy playing Disruption, so any excuse to play this mission after the hack, yep. Yeah, let's pop in here real quick. What build am I on? Did I switch build? Uh-oh. Am I still on my really high range build? Ah, yes. Oopsies. That's not the ideal one for this. Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Oop, no energy left. Shit. Give energy plus. Give. That'll do. There we go. Yeah, extra max energy, definitely a smart thing to have, because it's easy to run out.
Demo unit coming in fast. That thing blows and you can kiss the conduit goodbye.
Thank you. Yoink. Come on, where you at? And these guys kind of sod off at the moment. I'm kind of busy here. Ah! Oh, bollocks. I did not notice I was so close to death. Shit. That's frustrating. Didn't work. Didn't work.
Mate, this is not how bills get paid.
Did not work. Interesting. A lot of people said it worked. I would have said it worked. Up until evidence is very clearly otherwise. Yeah. Can't be finished anyway? Yeah, but this isn't a finisher. It's just a guaranteed sufficient damage to kill if they're low enough health. I messed it up? I definitely messed it up. Absolutely, yeah. I know I messed it up. And still, I used my 1 on them when they had like 2% health metaphor. What do you think that means? You kill them all during your test? And yeah, I'm just demonstrating exactly what I can see here. I don't know what to tell you. Well, they did not care for that, did they? I'm definitely on the wrong build to screw around like this. Let me go get my actual weapons. I was trying to just quickly go in, but let me get the correct setup. If I mistime the bubble cancel spell. Okay, fair enough. I don't get enough reason to use the Foreman. Let's use the Foreman. Yep, cool. Alright. Web ability will briefly CC the Dentalist. Yeah, it definitely didn't do that. I also did that. 5 to 6 seconds instead of 40. Still didn't do that. I'm going again, but I'm not going to take your word over what I just saw in front of me. I hope you understand that. People will tell me quite often things that literally do not exist. Things that I myself have sometimes been the one to write the guidance on. They'll tell me I'm wrong, that they had a different experience. And then 90% of the time, 98% of the time, that turns out to be bogus. But there's always that 2%, so I won't be conceited on it. Just very, very skeptical.
Allied V sold the conduits with interference routines specifically designed for the Tenno. Don't you worry, lad. I've got some workarounds.
Alright then, let's get cracking on this.
Conduit keys are carried by high-ranking muckety mucks. Knock them down. See what they've got.
Let's get some scuttlers out. They can start distracting enemies, damaging them, open them up for further assaults. Have I got the wrong setup on my companion? That is not my normal fire rate. Ah, I must have my companion on test build, damn it.
First key. Right. Find a matching conduit. Demo units.
Where are they coming from?
And take you with it. Keep it clear of that.
Enemy armor boost. I find that enemy armor boost on disruption a funny thought. I don't know if the armor actually still works for them. Alright, let's do this. Don't know why my gun has decided to stop making noise, but okay. So they're beyond half, and I'm seeing no marker on them. They've just had their pulse. Nothing. Nothing. Now's another pulse. Nothing. 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 You want to tell me I'm mistiming it now? It's nice of it to have suddenly oh, no, never mind. Yeah, no. I don't know what else to tell you. That seems like a pretty clear demonstration to me. Must have a bugged copy of the game. No, I have a spider copy of the game. Here we go. Which direction are we going for this next one? Damn it. I need something a little bit stronger. There we go. There we are. I really should have brought a status primer. I missed a few patch notes, won't be supposed to miss this one. Fair enough. I've got nothing I can say on that one, just the testing is pretty evident here. Yeah. If it was different before, and it may well have been, like I said, at the start of this mission, I expected this to work. Not the CC, but the insta-kill. But what we can say for certain is, I'm not screwing it up. It definitely is not doing what people hoped it would do. And that CC is literally no effect. There we are. I've done enough of this. I've definitely got a wrong loadout set up at the moment. Are you testing this, by the way? Yeah, my pleasure. I'm fine with testing when things are very clear to test. As long as we're all sensible about it, it's all good. Sure, what if I went with you and you set to you using you with you. There we are. That's just a handful of changes. Nothing too concerning. Were Oraxia's weapons tested on previous streams? No. Focus on Oraxia, not the weapons. I treat them separately. Actually, it's... no. I'll start with this mission, then I'll try a different disruption, just on the off chance this one's the bug instead. A little bit of rigor, eh?
They selling the latest in asset security. Conduits. Put the key in, and you can pull the shinies out. Trick is, you've got to wait.
Yep. Come on, there we are.
What happens to the conjure before you can pull the goods? You don't get the goods. Ever. Also, the bleeders Alad sold the tech to will try to kill ya.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
That console the old bypass so we can get this thing started. This isn't your regular bolt job.
Oh, the way they just get obliterated. It's beautiful.
Specifically designed for the tenor. Things might get a little weird.
I think there was an Xmas in here.
Conduit keys are
Was.
carried by high-ranking marketing mucks. Knock them down. See what they've got.
Stab.
First,
How dare she drop the same key I already have? That's no good to me.
matching conduit.
Okay, so zip over here,
Demo unit incoming.
get my invis,
Don't let them near
find the
conduit.
target. Target somewhere over this way. Cool, she perishes to that. Still able to one-shot Demolisher in Simulacrum. Simulacrum doesn't follow normal rules. Don't trust the Simulacrum, trust missions.
Pop that duck in a console and it'll cancel any active interference routines.
I don't want that.
Is the only one.
There we go. Get the invis.
Demo units looking to depart this mortal coil and take you with it. Keep it clear of that conduit.
Come on, demo. The Simulacrum is just not built the same as the game, is the sad truth. No one-shot. I'm not seeing the icon above the head. If you're seeing it in Simulacrum and I'm not seeing it here, that again seems pretty conclusive as to what I'm saying. Plus, you know, the literal evidence of our eyes. I'm not playing some different version of Warframe to you. Am I invisible? That's something Oraxia does every time she wall latches. She gets 8 seconds of invisibility. Come on, you. One more key. Oh, there's already a key over here. Just being yanked around. So yeah, after this mission, just this one round, I will pop on over to a different disruption entirely, just in case it's different elsewhere. I'll do the Entrati labs because their demolishers don't even nullify. So maybe it'll be different there. Maybe. And if it is, what the fuck do you eat? You know?
Got a few seconds before the system resets. We can take them again. Game?
Nah, I'm good, thanks. Let's go. They don't? Yeah, they don't. Necromech demolishers do not nullify.
Eyes open, sunshine. Here we go.
Boop. Alright.
You got out while you still could. Smart move.
Some regular demolishers do not nullify? Which ones outside of the labs? Where is it? Armatus, there we are. You think the Fister? Hey Google, what is a Fister? Yeah, nothing's coming up in the Warframe wiki. You don't know what to call it? Ah, okay. The Grenier with a fist. I see.
To convey
I
the
don't.
gravity of my situation, I've relayed my comms with that Corpus Robber Baron to your ship Cephalon. I trust you can and will be that associate for me.
Yeah, we could help you out, Drusus. Although, can you please tell the internet that I sound nothing like you?
Interlab transport and storage system for high-value goods and materials. If you can get them working, you should be able to find.
Did I trigger your device for a Google search there? Sorry. There we go. We got scuttlers aplenty now. Well, the ghoul demolishers on Mars doesn't have a null bubble? Really? Huh. Don't worry, Raptor. I'm fairly certain that if there is a website called phrasing.gif, if anyone here is dumb enough to go to it and get their computer infected by something, I have no care for it.
That's it.
Hi, mech.
Conduit and watch out for enemy necromechs. They'll blow the
Let's
whole
let those
operation
procs
dust
drop it
to
down.
the
It's
ground.
definitely below half health. Nope.
Mama have captured
Nope.
the dockets you need.
Nope.
Be aware.
Definitely doesn't work.
Muslims have a particular appetite for dockets.
Definitely does not work.
Security systems are responding to your
Is it now, Ellie? Oh dear.
Watch out for explosive necromechs.
Well, I remember from a certain
Guzzling detector.
Ask Me Anything Q&A stream I did, where I have much worse things in my Google search history as a result of trying to find suitable answers for everyone. So, you know, it could be worse. It could be worse. Have I tested if the in-skill works on Dedicants? Yes, it does. Rip Necromech. So, one of the things about this particular build I'm running at the moment, and the reason I called it tank build, is it is specifically designed to allow me to not have to constantly focus on invis. Because, to be quite honest, 8 seconds? That's a very short time. I don't care what your kind's latest hookup said before she never contacted you again. 8 seconds is actually very short time. We want better. So, as a result, I don't like having to constantly be thinking about doing that every few seconds, especially when occasionally it just fails. Oops, my energy has run out. That is concerning. Don't know how I let that happen. Which does mean I have far less HP. I'll be more careful. Ah yes, can someone drop some orbs, please? That, in fact, did not drop orbs. Must have the wrong powers on. Shoot. Warframe without energy. Ugh. I messed that one up, didn't I? It's kind of sad in a way that the ability that generates all of the energy for me requires energy to cast in the first place. I'm sure it's a metaphor for something, but I feel like it's scarily political. Seriously, how long do I have to go before something drops any kind of orb? What? There we go, 50 energy. Alright then. There's all my energy. Just needed one orb. Alright, where's this one's turn in? Over here. I think Necromech's coming from this side. Yep. There it is. And it's dead. Oh, we got a Acolyte incoming. Acolytes are immune to the one-shot kill, unfortunately. So that doesn't work out very nicely.
What does it earn?
We'll get him down. Yep. No kill.
How dare
But we can just shoot them to death. That still works.
No such thing. You will get your payment. As agreed. My associate will make sure of it.
My associate. Nah, I'm out of here, mate. There we are.
We've had a few setbacks.
Fair enough, Alsu. I'll leave you to your testing.
Are going to crack on.
You get the impression that wall action invis is better used as a backup plan for low energy situations. It is very nice in low energy where you could just do the invis, but it is also just usable if you're okay with getting into that constant loop of just re-upping it. Whether you stay on a wall, you're camping one spot, you just tap, tap every 8 seconds, or if you're bouncing around the place. For some people, that kind of gameplay works. For me, I'm a little bit lazier. I want to spend time, you know, shooting, not playing Mirror's Edge or whatever. I hope that's the game I'm thinking of. And I've just left the lab there, but that's not what I wanted to do because there was something else I can do here. Yeah. Let's pop into Extermination to do the trick. Have all the giveaways been done? Yes, they have. And it turned out to be 4 giveaways total, Mantis.
These foes deserve
Very sorry, you've
your
missed out on all
respect.
4 of those.
Honor them with quick deaths, and I with your victory.
Oh, you're still alive. There we go. Alright, so I want to just try and get one of these to spawn a necromech. That's what I want to test against next. So, anytime they feel like doing it, that'd be great. I probably shouldn't have CC'd the area, now I think about it. Oh well. Scuttlers, kill the anatomizer. That thing's actually surprisingly tanky against those scuttlers, not gonna lie. I'll put it out as misery. Hi, Grozling. Well, confirms that works on the Grozling. Grozling is vulnerable to Mercy's Kiss. Let's see, we need more... Oh, bollocks, he died too quick. Gonna need more of the Culverins. Where are they, please? Only the Culverins can call in the Necromechs. I did just kill a Culverin there, I get, but it was a Xmas. It just seemed like the right thing to do. Alright, Culverins on this side, so I'll try not to kill them. Kill all the rest of this stuff, though. If I go out of sight, maybe they'll get the idea they should go call in a mech. You might be doing it. Yes! Here it comes. You are done with now. Alright, Roguebone Widow. Gonna be very careful not to just shoot it dead. And at half health, it's now a target. Hey! Huh? Okay, well. I don't know how that worked, because it was definitely a legitimate target, but I somehow dropped it to 1 hit point. That was a weird one. Whoa, okay. I was trying to hit it with enough toxin that I could dash, do a dash at it, and then it just perished. That did not work as intended. If I shoot you even in the leg, you're gonna die, aren't you? Scuttler, do your work. Give it a moment. There we go. Now I've got my energy. Spawning an Xmas. That's not an Xmas. Well, that sucks. I thought those ones always spawned in an Xmas. It spawned in just a normal shuffling fragment. Is 3's damage stronger or just the arms that weak? The arms? Alright, let's grab some more scuttlers. But we've got 4 scuttlers out. Let's see how they deal with this lumbering fragment. Go! I know it's stairs. You can handle stairs. Can they even hit it? Oh shit, they can't hit it. Okay. That's weird. Go kill the next thing! There we go. They can hit that. Yeah, it's not the best damage. So let's help them out. Grab my energy, because that is kind of what this is all here for. I've only got 2 scuttlers out, 1 scuttler out at the moment. Let's summon a whole bunch more. That's 3. Got some stuff down here. Yep. 5 scuttlers. We come up 8. 9. 10 scuttlers. Okay, now let's see how they handle. This is just a normal build. This is not a summoner's build, so this is just default scuttlers. Oh, it would be violence. If I go up here, he has no idea I'm here. How long is... Ah! It's cheating, you little shit. Okay. Hacker. So yeah, Scuttler's not a great source of DPS at this level, or at least for this particular type of content, but they are still a good proc source. But yeah, guns are still just, you know, great. It's kind of hard to rely on summon damage where you can just shoot and dash for an insta-kill on things.
That was more fun than checking Mr. Tagfer for fleas. And to be clear, I really enjoy doing that.
Let's see. Oh, they're all still dying too quick for me to get any latch onto them. Oh. Good old Steel Path. One's a challenge for everyone. Eventually it just becomes yet another mission node. Why am I using Arcane Blessing? Yes, it's for the health. So, her 4 multiplies with any of your sources of health entirely. So what this means is that my base health, which starts at only 675, with Blessing becomes 1,875, which, by the way, means I don't have to worry if I'm kicked out of Silken Stride. I do still then have a chunk of health left over. And then on top of that, I've also got adaptation on here and health conversion. So when you bring this all together, she ends up actually with a pretty solid health tank. So 675 plus 1 to 200, the health is 1875. Health conversion is going to give us 1350 armor on top of 125, that's 1475 armor. So if we divide 1875 health by 1 minus 1475 over 1775, that's the 10-0 armor equation. We've got their effective hit points already, 11,000. Then we activate this, and I'll have growing power most likely active as well, so that'll give me 3.79 times. We're now at 42,000 effective hit points. And then adaptation, if that's able to trigger up to full, can take that up tenfold again, going from 42,000 to 420,000 hit points. You are blazing through the mission with that. It's one tanky spider, it absolutely is, Saminator. Also, welcome on in. Also, yeah, when it comes to getting Oraxia, definitely use the shop. If you're not using the shop, it will take so much longer, because out of every single simulation, unless you are only ever farming for exactly one Oraxia, you are guaranteed to want to use the shop. That one situation where you only farm Oraxia, none other weapons, no helmet copy, even then, over 99% of people still want to use the shop. So you click onto the Dormer Zone bit here, let it load. And then, yeah, speak to this little cretin right here, and you want to exchange Scuttler husks. And you grab your bits and pieces. That's just the way to do it. Also, I've spent all of these. How's the clan doing? 25%. Ooh. Oh well. Oh well. Have we got a Oraxia in here at the moment? Nope. Oh well then. We'll skip that. So, how well does Oraxia handle in proper missions, I suppose, rather than Steel Path tier? Is feeding Oraxia to helmet even worth it? Do you feel like your ability is just worse Cora 2? It depends on what you want to use it for. Cora's 2 will scoop up the enemies, sure, but it doesn't give them the same damage vulnerability that you can scale that Oraxia's one can. So, it's the difference between grouping or damage vulnerability. Also, Cora's 2 is an instant effect. It has its chaining, which propagates for a short time, but it's near enough an instant effect, and then it just sits there. Whereas Araxia's one will continuously control new enemies in the area. So it's more similar to Hildren's 4, really. Except you don't even have to channel it yourself, whereas she's channeling that effect. What holds enemies in place in a group area like that? Not sure. Range is so small? The range is small. Okay, let me just have a look here. So, end snare, base radius, spread radius 10 meters. Okay. Any different when subsumed to helmet system? Doesn't seem to be. Okay, so spread radius is 10 meters. And then we've otherwise got Webb's Embrace, is it called? Webbed Embrace. Base radius 10 meters. Curious. Helmet versus diminished range? True. It is 1/3 shorter there. So that is your trade-off. That is your trade-off. Where is it? There it is.
Dude.
Don't know why that wasn't stepping out to me.
Got a set of crisis events.
Alright, let's see. Imagine I have Araxia's the frame available to me. Let's go for Miter, Lex, Chaku. Let's do that. Mitre. And let's just make sure that is a suitable setup. Hunter munitions. Neutralizing justice. Let's do that one instead. Okay. We go over here with Lex. Lex should just have a suitable setup. It's currently on suppress, but that should be fine. What am I running here? Gas magnetic? Yeah, that can work. That can work. And he's with Shaku. Let's see. Max ammo on all weapons reduced by 75%. Use the ability opens a void rift nearby. Transference into operator and drifter is blocked. And ammo restored by drops and gear is reduced by 75%. It's a good thing Incarnans exist, isn't it? Already got these in because I've already run this. You can see I've got the rewards all the way up to this reward pool here. Which, fun fact, was with Oraxia. Let's go do this. Oh, before I go in, actually, double check. Let's swap you. For that. Yeah. First modifier we draw for testing. Ah, true. Yeah, it's the.
Okay. Get your
Let's see. It is.
I cannot pull you out without the full run going.
Enemies only take the damage from heavy weapons. Yeah. Yeah, heavy weapons is gonna suck a bit, isn't it? Let's do this. Two Incarnans whilst testing Oraxia. So here's the thing, Zom, here's the thing. Incarnans don't get the toxin bonus, but they're still Incarnan weapons.
I wonder if tech rot utilizes void energy at the molecular level.
Yep.
Like, if we could
That,
prove that
I
was
could have sworn I
true.
pressed...
We need evidence.
Come on. I could have sworn I pressed 3. There we go. Get that brief invisibility so that I can get started on this. Don't force me to use a heavy weapon straight away, please. Gonna have to use a heavy weapon straight away. Alright. There we go. Is that not... There we go. The freaking shields on them makes it harder to tell when they're at half health. You know, without waiting for the icon. So anyway, I saw it blasted. We got a Xmas, Guardian Xmas, that's frustrating. There we go. Seems to me this is working so far. You didn't know she could use the Archgun in a 4? Well, looks like you were concerned for nothing then. Let's pop this down here. Oh, that supply cache, I probably want to deal with that so it doesn't self-destruct and make the mission twice as long. I completely forgot about that. 45 seconds. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, there we go. We're good. Okay. Got a little bit concerned there. But it all works out. Item cannot be used, my ass. Supply cache makes mission longer. On this modifier, yes. It's a specific modifier for this week's run that if you don't get the cash, it doubles the kill requirement. Which is a pain in the ass, for very obvious reasons. Let's go up here. Well, that did a bit of damage. I've got 12 scuttlers. Yay! 12 scuttlers at once, guys. Oops. Make that 11 now. Get away from that beam. Haha, I vanished. The beam has no idea where to go. I don't know why the explosion graphic goes in my face sometimes there, but... Oh, is there a Guardian Xmas somewhere? I just can't see. So many Xmas units! Oop, let's get out of that. Yep, max is 10 scuttlers, that's why I had 12. It's a bug. There we go. Flat.
Confirming extermination proceeding as planned. Midpoint reached. No significant issues.
Yeah, just the bajillion tech rots and explosions and screen clutter.
Keep it up.
No, Arcturus! My robo-dog that I stole from a girl. Yeah, Oraxia's not buffing the Archgun, so I am missing out on her toxin buff just entirely here. Which is a little rough. As rough as all these fucking Xmas. Jesus. Weren't Xmas supposed to be the special units? Why are they every unit? That's an Xmas. That's Xmas. That's Xmas. There's just so many of them. Oh gods. Alright. As you can see, I've got 6,637 health. I think I can take that higher. 7,115 health. When you add on the 90% damage reduction to impact I currently have from adaptation, the armor I have from all the health orbs, I have 420,000 effective hit points, at least. Maybe more against impact. A bit of tank, you might say. Which means that those void fishers, which are the ones doing the impact, are basically nothing. They can't hurt me. And there's plenty of ammo going around at the moment. Oh. Bit of back spawning, sure, why not? That obliterates most of them. Why is my Anaros called Oraxia? Ah, the latest patch, you know. Anaros had to change with the times. It was the last update in June. So, you know, it was a farewell to Pride Month. I don't know. Rookie numbers? I mean, this is as much as we need owls to. Come on, I'm not going to put a faction mod on here. Or dead space. Okay, where's the Guardian Xmas? I know you're around here somewhere. Where are you? I think I'm shooting something. Feels weird, this high health Warframe having invis. Yeah. It's certainly it's a weird combo, but it means you can play either or both, as I'm doing here. It's not an Xmas? Oh, this is an Xmas, but its Mercy Threshold has already been consumed. Okay. Only's eyes? Me. Which is exactly why I went to the opticians this week. Getting that sorted. I feel like there's more than one enemy over there, but okay. Now, one downside of using the wand to kill enemies is that it doesn't count as a kill for your weapons, for very obvious reasons. And so, stacking up the Morzelon's kill trigger, stacking up kill mods on your primary or secondary, none of that happens if you skip ahead by using this instead. So, you just have to bear that in mind if you are trying to rely on kill stacks. Come on. Perish. Why is this one so much more resilient? There we go. Let's prime them all ready to become scuttlers. And then turn them into scuttlers. 4 scuttlers? I could have done better. There we go. 6 scuttlers. That's better. 6 is more than 4. Do I feel like this frame is a bit power crept? That's a damn good question. She's certainly a very effective frame, yeah. Power crept? That's harder to weigh in on. Partly because a lot of what she's doing here is enabled by what she can do with mods. The powerful set of options we have available to us these days. Part of it is that she's just got actually workable abilities. The gimmicks aren't there. So her navigational ability is just part of her 4. Her invis, yeah, it's a very short duration, but it's a passive. Her crowd control ability doesn't have some weird timer to it. It doesn't drain your energy constantly, stuff like that. The design of her abilities are designed to actually all be usable. And then none of the abilities lacks an identity. It's not like we have a, here's 100 damage ability. And you just like, who the f needs 100 damage? Also, this is satisfying. That is just where it feels like she works. Being able to just zip, 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 zip. It's like bullet jumping, but without needing to figure out how to bullet jump, I suppose.
Life support has been cut off. They're trying to choke you out. Hold on.
Ah yes, kill enemies with melee. This is something that I shall do. Let me just check what the thing is here. Techrot tumors spawn near scrubbers. That's my priority. Say enemies blessed with void energy, no concern. Enemies only take damage if you're close to them. Okay.
God, you are so embarrassing sometimes.
Big energy. There we go. Right, let's get over to the Hell Scrubber now. That is going to be a priority. Gotta get over there. Thank you for that. Where is it leading me? Where is it leading me? Holy shit. Is it down? Is Timmy down the well, boy? There we go, that's cleaned off. Right, let's get to work on these tumors. Because if you don't clear these tumors in this one, you will get screwed over. I've got to go find them. Babao can just exist, I don't care about it. There's a tumor. Oh yeah, I should also get rid of this. There we go. That'll stop more tumors spawning in this area. So we're not constantly putting out fires. But still need to clear the ones that have spawned. There's one over here. There we go. Okay, all of those are taken out. We've got another one that spawned. Let's just empty it now. We don't need it. Getting rid of it is far more valuable than using it as a quote-unquote smart time. Let's take out these remaining tumors. There we go. One more over this way. Alright, we are free of tumors. For now. Archer's just evaporated. Not sure how or why, but okay. Plenty of energy upkeep. I guess I could go find that Babao. Nah. They're frustrating. Yeah, the movement system of Oraxia is different to other Warframes. Getting used to latches, resisting normal movement, getting used to how the zips connect to things, like what kind of terrain you'll hit there. I didn't expect to stick to that. I thought I did aim low enough. So she is a very different moveset. It's not something we commonly have to relearn in Warframe, but in this case she is definitely a frame where taking the time to understand how she's different, not just how she's the same, is really important. Alright, this is spawned in, so now I need to clear it, grab it, and then kill the tumors. Where is that tumor? Is that inside the pipe? Can you go inside the pipe? Hold on. Hold on. No, wait. Where is that tumor? No. Is it up through here? Nope, this is a very small room. There is not a thing in here. Where is that tumor spawned? Nope, can't get through there. That's another tumor, usefully. No? Ah, aha, there it is. God damn, so it spawned like 2 or 3 tiles away. Sure. Well, these tumors? ETA mission modifier. Tumors spawn near the life support and drain it faster. So you do not want to let them build up. Take them out as a priority. It also means you want to be using life supports pretty much straight away, so that it's not constantly spawning more of these tumors. Honestly, the rest of the survival mission can get stuffed at that point. You just want to focus on the tumors. Oh, the Babao's found me. Huh. In all my runs, I've not had that happen. Alright.
Kaya, I gotta ask. How is this science? I'm scrubbing the
Gotta deal with
freaking
this.
streets over here.
Every teeny tiny tech rot particle sucked up into those towers has a tale to tell.
Let's try and deal with this Babao. Hit the things which I can easily hit. Hold on. Let's get some extra support here. My support's getting a little shaky. Come on, you tanky motherfucker. Fully charged. I'm getting it close so that any nearby enemies should also be in explosion range. Oh, that spawned. I need to deal with that. There we go. Let's grab all the tumors. Where are they spawned this time? There's one. There's another. Some down this way. There's another. There's another. Alright then. I think that's the tumors. Where's the headshot on this thing? I need life support. Please start dropping some capsules. Focusing on this Babo might actually get me killed here. Come on. Yeah. Damn it. I thought I caught all the tumors as well, but... Oh, well, that's definitely cost me it. Damn it! That's frustrating. Okay, fuck the Babao. Mission failure.
I
Fuck.
always say learn more from failure than success. Did we learn anything?
Bollocks. That's frustrating. The damage attenuation absurdly tanky enemies? Yeah. I was just trying to focus it down to see if I could get it to half health to see if it would trigger, but I can't see the half health threshold, know how close I was there. And enemies not taking damage more than 15 meters away definitely did not help. So I couldn't rely on the bounces.
Velamir and Minerva are ready when you are. Stand
Can I
by
skip
for
ahead,
tactical
please?
shenanigans.
I don't want the rewards, I just want to do the mission. I was really looking forward to just showing off the tank fight. Oh well. I had no trouble with the life support last time I ran that though, that was weird. Maybe there were some tumors hidden that I just hadn't found. I didn't see any still on the minimap. And they do show at long range, so not sure. I just mustn't have been getting the kills I needed.
I wonder if tech rot utilizes void energy at the molecular level. Like, if we could prove that was true. We need evidence.
I'm up for whatever, Velasco. As long as it can help us find out what happened to Nessie.
There we go, get that. Gonna start getting these health orbs. Health orbs means tank. Oh, that was not low enough. There we go. Am I at full stack? Not yet. $46. $50, there we go. Full health. Alright, now let's wade through this lot and get that cash. Actually, let's just go straight to the cache. Light cache nearby. Good, good, good. May you ask why Mitre isn't of the Truma? I think it was. If we're first work with what? Oh, why Mitre over the Trumner? Because I prefer the Incarnans when the ammo options are absolutely dire. Because remember, the ammo options are terrible this run. 75% reduction in max, 75% reduction in pickup. That's just not happening. Oh, I hate these Guardians. Arcturus is unhelpfully down. Not a headshot? What the fuck am I shooting then? That's got to be at Mercy Threshold. It looks like it. There we go. Finally. Oh, there's another! Stop spawning these ones, please. I beg of you. They are so tank. Oh, wait. I forgot. It's this mission. That explains it. There we go. Yeah. Thinking about the Trumner, I forgot that I wasn't even wanting to use normal weapons. Because the goddamn mission modifier giving them all 95% damage resistance. Come on. What is giving them so much tank? I don't see where the extra resistance is coming from. I just see that sometimes they are tankier than I expect. Perish, 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 perish. That'll do. Is there a Guardian Xmas just up on the balcony? Nope. Oraxia's one works on executing through damage attenuation? Yes. Which, if I had a Dedicant to shoot, I would demonstrate. But first two missions are tech roll, unfortunately. Go, big hit time. Flap. That was not a big hit. Where is this damage reduction coming from? Maybe they're just that high level, I guess. That's the reason I'm not dodging into wall. Because it doesn't give any bonus to the offense. And defensively, I've got a hit point, so I can do it, but you'll notice it's making basically no difference to the mission. So why spend the time thinking about it? Alright, kill the Guardian. There we go. Flap. That's better. 33 mil. Necromech. The Necromech Demolisher didn't get affected. Normal Necromech did. Oh, there's another Guardian Xmas. Why do you do this to me? There's a Jade, so I am going to go invis. Jade beams stop tracking you when you're invisible, so that's useful. Right, where's the Guardian? I need to kill the Guardian. Come on. Oh, I thought it was at half health. There we go. Guardian down, I should be able to blap the group. There we are. Still more Jades. Yeah, Ellie, the Necromech we tested against, for some reason it dropped it to 1 hit point, but normally the Necromechs do go down. It was just that one particular one. I can re-demonstrate later if this mission doesn't screw me over on the life support again next. And if this Archgun can actually get through these things before I die of old age, which, given my overall youthfulness, would be impressive at this point. Is it? I can't even tell. Yeah, it's sending me backwards. It's saying 700 meters. Ew. More Xmas! More bloody Xmas! What is going on here? There we go. Well, it's an Archgun because of the ETA modifier. 95% damage reduction on all the other stuff. Which, alongside all the other arcane BS they're bringing out, is basically just a no bueno for damage. Well, that cleared him up. That definitely did clear them all up there. There we go, another group of them. Start painting the weaker ones. Blap. What am I shooting at? There's something on my radar. What? There we go. Did I just shoot my own companion? It went down with my shot. Oh, get out the leech. There we go. Come on, perish. There we are. Oh, okay. Back we go. Blap a whole group of them. Start taking out everything else. There we are. Next room. Literally next room. Okay. Back up to 11 scuttlers, because breaking the rules is a fun thing to do with abilities. What are we doing now? Suffering through level 524 ETA, where I can only use a heavy gun for proper damage due to modifiers. Okay, that Xmas took basically none of that damage. How many more to kill? Another 17 and we're back to that survival. There it is. Alright. Next group is 400 this way. I think that's a lie. Eight more enemies, I'll be good. Got the one back here. 6 to go. What the tanky you? It's dead. There's a group. Ah, one more. Nearly got it with that blast.
Screaming on multiple
There we are.
wavelengths. Timeline flaws standing out like zits on a cheerleader. Interesting.
Just so long as this was all worth the effort.
Come on, let me off. There we are. And that's that mission. Okay. Right. On to the survival. Let's hope this one goes better. What we've seen is Oraxia can handle it. It's just the mission modifiers are a little bit
They're trying to choke you out.
chonky.
Hold on. I'm sending auxiliary life support.
Alright.
Dub, who's up for a scrub? This guy.
God, you are
There we
so
go. Got the
embarrassing
energy. Skip past everything else. I need to get straight to the scrubber. Because whilst that scrubber's up, we're spawning tumors. Tumors are going to make the mission impossible to continue. Sure, let's just... Thank you. Can't you tell I didn't have damage stacks on that? It's tumor. There it is. And tumor there. There we go. All tumors dealt with. We can just kill for a bit. Yeah. Need to get hold of those health orbs because I'm currently only at half max. It's spawned. Need to go to need one. Let's take this out now. Actually, let's let it get down a bit. I can focus on tumors. Not the worst thing to let them spawn a bit more, I guess. Because whilst I've still got enough life support, it actually works out. This is being infested. Let's deal with the infestation of it. Easy peasy. Oh, I've got to get in range to harm them. Tumors, tumors. Where are the tumors? It says there's one. There it is. Control the area a bit, turn them into scuttlers. Companions down, not the end of the world, it will be back. And need to clean this off. Now there's another one spawned. Oh wow. That life support has suddenly just been going down. Hold on. Where's the... That wasn't going down so fast a second ago. Clean up this area, then go to the other one quick. This area is cleaned. Let's just wipe this out now. Spawned one behind me. And then some over this side. There we go. Need to go clean up this side. There we are. Okay, that looks to be all the tumors at the moment, so we're good on those now. Okay. That was a neat trick. I didn't know it could teleport through walls, but that's what that one could do. Okay, did not mean to one-shot it. Never mind. There we go. Without the massive damage reduction, they're a lot easier to take out. Also, Hell Scrubber spawned. Need to deal with that. No! It caught me just in the middle of opening it. How dare. There we go. One more tumor up this way. No, that died too quick.
Kaya, I gotta ask.
5 minutes left. Life support is holding.
I'm scrubbing the freaking streets over here.
Is the Babao
Tiny
even
tentacles
slightly
sucked
close
up
to
into
me?
Those towers has a tale to tell.
Let's see, is it through this room? God, how far is it? Yeah, I can't be bothered with the Babao. The Babao is not even trying to fight me, so I won't fight it. You know? Truce. Again with the teleporting, stop that. Is there a modifier causing that? Because I swear they don't usually teleport. We got another one of these coming in just a moment. Should be now. There it is. There we go. Now let's grab all the tumors that have spawned with it. That's that one. This one. Looks like there's one over here. Any more for any more? Nope, that's all of them. Sweet. Life support maintained. 6 modifiers were awful. I mean, I did struggle with the life support previously. But I think that was because I was focusing too much on the Babao because they actually turned up. So far, this is managing. The arch gun usage being required, it certainly sucks on the previous mission, but it's still manageable. No idea how long that took. What's going to be fun is the the assassination. That's so much health. How did that die? Damn it. Nah, I've got enough energy. Another one of these is due to spawn. It'll pop in 26 seconds. Luckily, it's right here again. Tank can only be damaged with RPGs. Yup. But I can handle that. Few seconds. Pop this straight away. And now I need to take out the tumors that spawned instantly. 1, 2. Oh, there's a bloody guardian. 3. Alright, let's deal with the guardian. What even is it? Oh, it just popped. Okay. No, wait, that's the wrong one. Maybe it was, because that one also did just pretty much pop. I think one more life support capsule should spawn in 40 seconds. "26 seconds on the new spawn. Already on location. My pet is down again. Isn't it nice that pets don't perma-die anymore? Lex Incarnate is part of a web category you call usable only on specific frames due to a stat in its kit. What stat in which kit is making the Lex Incarnate usable right now then? Because I don't fully understand what you were claiming. So, pop this. Fire rate is low? Oh. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, most things get the message after like 2 shots. Most things. See? 2 shots. One shot every 2 seconds? It's not that bad, but I get what you mean. It is a slow-firing weapon. If you're used to stuff that kind of go burr, the slower rate of it definitely comes in there. I do tend to use a companion for 60% attack speed bonus, sorry, fire rate bonus. So usually I don't feel even this speed. I haven't got that equipped at the moment.
Let's wrap this up.
I've got Arcturus helping me out with maintaining the orbs. Because they're so crucial. There we are. Alright then. Oh, is that where the Babao was? Alright. Time to do the assassination.
The bigger the target, the wilder my chronometer goes. We need to find the biggest target in town. A Skuldra, a Furbon tank.
I should probably get my starting energy.
Fancy new tanks. Yeah, I think we can oblige.
I do love trying to do that without having damage stacks. Was I shooting the wrong thing? Oh god, these ones also have the modifier. Okay. That's going to be frustrating. Wait, I'm bleeding out? Can I be revived, please? I'm bleeding out. And I can't use my operator. Hello, NPCs? NPCs? Well, that's fucking frustrating. Okay. What happened? Not entirely sure, to be honest. I think I got clipped whilst I was trying to get the initial kill to get my gun up to power. And that's really frustrating because now that whole thing has to be redone. Fuck's sake. I was invisible when I went down, even. God damn it. I was trying to figure out what the hell was even happening. So it just felt like my gun was doing nothing.
It's no Larunda relay. Got a set of crisis events lined up for you. Make sure we get a gold star on each one.
Yeah, just myopic munitions have to get within 15 meters of the enemies. Definitely screwed me up there. Damn, I really wanted to actually do the tank fight properly there. But, yeah. Oh well. I really don't know if I could be bothered to redo that. Because these 2 missions are quite chunky. Like, that's 10 minutes. So, fair enough. But that one also is just... Nope. Nope. We're also over time? We are. So, quick wrap up. In terms of builds, let's have a quick scan across these before we do the Platinum giveaway. By the way, exclamation mark ticket in the chat. If you've not already claimed a ticket for the Plat giveaway, we'll be doing that in just a moment. So, I was going in with the tank build there, and as you saw throughout the vast majority of that, once you've got Blessing stacked and 4 turned on, the tank is good. It was a pain in the ass, but yeah. Concept saying, somebody did the broken EDA assassination. Weak Star community has been a massive war, can't be asked. To be honest, I did both of them solo on Monday, and it just worked. I did the 2 different assassinations in like 18 minutes each. But solo definitely is a lot easier. Something to do with the attenuation scaling in a group. D really overcooks that. But yeah. Aside from getting started is definitely the weak point. The 2 mods here for tank, the 2 arcanes here for tank, definitely do a lot of work in just keeping you alive. I have got Arcane Grace on there because when you're at 7,000 odd health, it's cute that this thing pays out like 5 health orbs, but that's 250 healing. 250 does not cover 7,000 health. So Arcane Grace is the big passive pull there. Otherwise, we've got energy economy and then casting stats over on this side. Pretty nicely laid out for that reason. Scuttler build, Summoner's Wrath. Again, I've gone for tank, this time going for vitality rather than adaptation. The tank is much lower, but that's still giving us more workable tank to, you know, handle things better. We got our energy economy, and again, casting stats. See, the switch here is to focus more on the duration, just so the scuttlers don't bleed out quite so quick of their own accord, but they can still get killed by enemies. It does also mean that the energy drain on this comes down a little bit versus the tank setup, because we've got more duration. Arcane Camisado give us extra strength as a result of the scuttlers going burr, and they move faster. And then Theorem Infection if you wish to go for the full damage approach on that. Preparation, so you can just get straight into the thick of things. I could put preparation onto most of these, to be quite honest, and it would feel similarly nice. Range build. The idea is just give me all the range, and then what have I got that I can still do? Throw in Arcane Crepuscular to bring up the strength and final crit damage. Because we're focusing on range here, we're expecting to control the enemies, so we're not expecting to need as much tank. So that's why I've gone Health Conversion, Crepuscular, Molt Augmented, also bringing up the strength that we threw away to get the sheer amount of range. If you take into account all of the conditional strengths here, we got 60, 90, 115%. So this actually comes up to 254%. That's a pretty solid strength, all told. And again, casting stats and whatnot. We've got Augur Reach on here as well. So that means we've also got the shield gating effect that grants us. I've not gone for Augur Reach on these two because you've got enough health tank that you shouldn't need to be relying on shield gate. You've got health tank and invis. And then if you look at the tank build, you go, that's too much tank, Ken, you don't need to do that. Then there is the invis full approach. So we've got slightly more range because Augur Reach has come in. The Cunning Drift has come out for Proton Pulse, giving you a little bit of extra damage reduction and just more mobility. Precision Intensify for the extra strength on the 4 there. Molt Augmented for extra strength on the 4 there. Well, all of them. And Arcane Crepuscular. The strength on this one definitely goes that much higher. We're looking at, what, 370%? I think? Yeah. Crab should say no weapon platform build. I don't know what a weapon platform build looks to you other than subsuming on Nourish or Raw, to be quite honest. What do you mean about a weapon platform build I'm not already doing by just having Oraxia, who shits out a whole load of toxin with her 4, and also damage vulnerability with her 2? You mean like tons of power strength to boost the toxin damage on 4? So, okay. 25, 55, 115 conditional, on top of the 254, on top of the 90. So that is 115, 369, 459% strength on the 4. 459% strength. Okay, you understand now. Good. Yeah, just because the name is Invis doesn't mean that is the only thing in the build. Because if I was going to make a build that was just Invis, watch this. There we go. This is an Invis build. The name of the build isn't everything in the build. Might miss the context? Well, come on, if you think there's just 4 builds here and the word is the entire build, you really are missing how a build is more than one word. Like, I wouldn't be making videos and live streams about this stuff if I could quite literally just say tank and that's the build. Now, the bio config just to prove a point. Honestly, I usually have a demonstration config anyway, so that's not a concern to me. You're not smart? You said it. Which I suppose isn't a smart thing to do, because now everyone believes you. But sure. How do I feel about Bellicose on Oraxia? Kind of a waste of time, to be honest. Kind of a waste of time. So, the reason I say that is Arcane Bellicose, the strength kicks in based on the max health you have. Now, if I were to have it alongside Blessing, which means I'd be taking out Grace, and I'm not too keen on that idea, but yeah. If you have it alongside Grace, we'll have 1800 health, and so that's going to trigger, what, 7 stacks of that? 42%. 42% isn't terrible, but it's also not, like, that much of an improvement when you consider how much other strength you can get into the build. Yeah, when this one's hitting 400 odd on the 4. It's not a huge increase. And it doesn't buff from... it doesn't buff the 4 itself. So once you activate the 4, the strength from Bellicose hasn't happened yet. Only once the 4 is fully on does it then buff Bellicose to go stronger. Which is great if you need more strength out of this. Nope, I've got all the orb drops I could ever need. Don't need more strength on that. More strength on this? I mean, that's not terrible. Get damage vulnerability up a little bit further, but it's not that great. Widow's Brood, strength is basically pointless on it. This ability just doesn't care about strength. So yeah, that's how that shakes out. Does Bellicose not work with dynamic updating? It might still buff the toxin damage, now you mentioned it, but it definitely doesn't buff the health gain. Point is, it just doesn't seem... It doesn't seem enough of a pickup when we can have things which aren't so weirdly conditional. Okay, so it definitely buffs the damage, alright. That brings it up a bit. I will admit, I did overlook that a little bit. But it just doesn't feel really necessary, I'll be quite honest with you. But if you want to run it, sure, why not, honestly. I've got the full tank approach, or the approach here. I suppose Multi Augmented would swap for it, wouldn't it? Thinking it through. Yeah, it would swap. Never mind, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that would actually turn out better. Never mind. You're right. In there it goes. Will I use it on the others? Yes. It will hit high enough on that. Well, well, actually, let's see. I don't think it will hit. Let's see, 55% extra on that. Plus current amount. 3.05 times 675. 2,000. 83 for that. Nope. I'll stick with augmented on that one. Ironically worse for health builds? Kind of, but more because the health builds are too busy doing other things. Is 53 damage Toxin Kuva good? Yes, 53% bonus is good. Yes, you're one upgrade away from maxed out 60%, so yeah. Someone said Toxic Map. Well, go ask that someone why you're listening to their opinion, to be quite honest. 53 is good. You're one upgrade away from 60 max, so yes, it is a very good pickup. Hell, if you don't care about min-maxing, 53% is nearly as good as 60%. And if you're concerned about the toxin, then you former it 5 times, you've now got a max leveled item, and you apply a elemental vice. You can now just swap between whatever element you want on it. So yeah, 53 in toxin, you're fine. There is a better element, radiation. Radiation sucks. Radiation is in a terrible spot compared to everything else. It's a soft crowd control ability, which also gets enemies to slightly damage each other more than normal. Tell it to Corvex. Corvex isn't killing because of the radiation, he's killing in spite of the radiation. Tell me now, if Corvex was dealing typeless damage, no radiation procs, but still got the rest of his kit, you know, where the radiation procs are forced to work into it, if the actual damage he was dealing was just blank damage rather than radiation damage, would it matter? The answer is no. It wouldn't matter. Everything that radiation is good for on Corvex is because Corvex forces it to work, not because radiation is doing the work. Every single bit of it. Isn't radiation damage itself fine? Radiation damage itself is pointless. It's not fine, it's pointless. It has no position. Look at the options on it. It does 50% extra damage to sentience. How much are you fighting sentience? Be real with me. How much are you fighting sentience to the point that you care about the radiation? It has half damage against Orokin, which is all of the corrupted, and there's plenty of reasons to be fighting them. But you might be seeing the Murmur there, and you go, oh, hang on, Murmur, there we go. Ken, look, Murmur's great. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I don't have Electric on this setup to just point at. Here we are. Because Electric has the exact same bonus against the Murmur, and is also a damaging proc. So the entire radiation damage bonuses are also pointless. We're not fighting sentience enough to care. We fight Orokin enough to care, and it's a negative. And Murmur, you can get just the same benefit from Electric, but also it's a much better proc too. It's a complete wipe. How do you build Protea? Exclamation mark Protea. Yeah, Brother Oni, you are well out of date, sorry. Radiation having a bonus against Heavy Grineer? Oh no. It is completely out there. They completely overhauled how damage types work with different factions. Now it's a per faction rather than a per health or armor type. So Corrosive is always the damage bonus against Standard Grineer. Radiation is always the bonus against the Murmur, as you just saw there. Whether they have health, armor, shields, what. It's just a factional thing now. I'll say the only reason Radiation matters on Corvex because of the Arcane. It's also just kind of shoehorned into the rest of him. Think about it. The Arcane is also shoehorning in. The Arcane isn't making Radiation good because of Radiation. It's just asking for Radiation. If they'd made it Toxin instead, Corvex would wish he dealt Toxin damage. He wouldn't go, oh, well, I've still got the rest of Radiation's perks. He hasn't. There are no perks. So yeah. Alright then. Overall, I think that is about the extent of where Oraxia will go. I'll be quite honest, I much prefer the tank side of things to Invis. Despite Invis being stronger, I like being able to just stay alive. The fact that this can face tank is beautiful, because this Invis, if you fall out of Invis, what tank have we got here? We've got... Yep, none of those are tank. No. No, none of that is tank. We've got 17% damage reduction, 675 health, and 125 armor. So we can take a shield gate, and then we have divided by 1 minus 0.17 divided by 125 over 425. 2,765 effective health. Yeah, you pop out of invis here, and you die. Yeah, you just die. The shield gate happens, and then you do cease to exist. And it's only a 1.1 second shield gate. Yuck. But this is for those who really want to run invis over anything else. Like, no, invis is enough for my tank. Okay, fair enough. That's this approach. I prefer the tank. I prefer to actually wade through the enemies, to be a Warframe, not a hideaway on the wall frame. But that's just me. The difference between invis at 8 seconds and 2k health, or invis for 8 seconds and 420k plus health. Effective health, of course. It seems like an easy trade to me. That is personal preference. Alright then. I've been wittering on and on. Let's do a platinum giveaway. Everyone should have their tickets at this point, because I did remind you of it, but I do see there is an advert happening for some people at the moment, so we'll give it just a sec there. If you have not yet claimed a ticket, exclamation mark ticket in the chat. Concept hadn't claimed a ticket, now you have. That's splendid. Mythic's already good. Crazy Max grabbed a ticket, fair do. Nameless got themselves a ticket now. 3, 2, 1. Alright, that's enough tickets. That's everyone. If you didn't grab it now, you clearly didn't want one. Now, let's see. Out of those of you who have entered, the winner today can only be one of you. That winner for the Platinum giveaway is Alex Kalmov. Alex, congratulations. You are the winner of the Platinum giveaway today. I'll be contacting you shortly after the end of this stream. Get a hold of your Warframe username, your platform, and if you got cross-save turned on or not. In fact, there's Alex going, no way! Absolutely. You gotta believe it. Someone had to win. And this time it is definitely you. Let's grab a quick whisper here. There we go. Alex, if you're able to reply to that smiley face there with your Warframe username, your Warframe platform, and if you have cross-save turned on or not. And we'll be able to get all that sorted out. The rest of the details will be sent to you in that message after the end of stream. From Sammy saying, Kenjineer, can I just say how great you are? Giveaways and interaction with us is awesome. Appreciate the content and keep it up. Thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Can gig that? Sorry, Mythic. That looks like that's going to be some kind of slur. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is about looking at it like that, but that feels like you've just invented a slur using my name, and I don't like that. Let's raid out of here, shall we? Let's raid out of here. Where can we raid on over to today? I do wonder. Who's actually live? Warframe category. Who can we say hello to? We've got Gaz, Xenos. We've got the rest of these. I'll be honest, not a lot of names I recognise today, but Xenos is always fun to pop on into. Don't know if they're still going to be going for a while or not, but we will certainly find out. Goodbye, Sammy. Alright. Raid Xenos loaded. There we go. We're going to be heading over to there now. Thank you everyone once again for joining in. Do hope you've enjoyed this. A final look into Oraxia before I put out the full video on that. That is all from me today, and I will see you on Friday for some more not Warframe. That's going to be another Variety Friday. Till then, have a good one. Bye.